The Astros take game one, 6-5 with a walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth. The Astros post a furious 8th and 9th inning rally in game two that falls short on the final play of the game, 6-5. Exciting baseball to the final out. Typical Cards and Astros. Game three next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, it could be another thriller. It's game three of this series between the St. Louis Cardinals and Houston Astros. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. We have watched two nail-biting one-run decisions. Each club has won, and now the deciding game. Who knows what we have tonight, JD?
Yeah, it's been a lot of drama the first two games of this series. The Astros looking for their second series win of the year. They're going to have to go through a red-hot Kyle McClellan to get it. But let's turn the clock back. Tuesday night, Michael Bourne with the bunt base hit there. Things kind of unraveling for the Cardinal bullpen. Late in that game. That's kind of been a story for the Cardinals so far this year, but ultimately Bill Hall delivers the game-winning hit, and it was time to party on the Astros infield. A come-from-behind dramatic win for the home team. Last night, another opportunity to do the same as the Astros made some noise against the Cardinal bullpen after falling down 6-zip through 7 innings. But a rally in the 8th, and then the 9th falls just a wee bit short. You see this ball over the head of Lance Berkman in right field off the bat of Sanchez, but Hunter Pence with a chance to drive him in. And Hunter's been very good in those situations this year. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, but the kid Sanchez made a heck of a pitch.
Brett Wallace, it has been Wally's world. He's put together a 7-game hitting streak. He's gone 16 for 29. He got his 4th 3-hit game of the year last night. Wally's world comes your way next. to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. It is an absolutely beautiful, picture-perfect night here at Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston. Low humidity, bright, sunny skies above. Great night to watch from there. The roof atop Union Station. And it has been spectacular all afternoon. Now the sun will be dropping during the game. Should be one of the most pleasant games of the season right here. We have one more day of this weather coming, we're told by the experts, and then the humidity returns. So enjoy it while it's here. And we take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals starting lineup for Tony La Russa's first place club at 13-11 with a half-game lead in the standings. Daniel Descalso leads it off. He's at second base tonight with David Freese at third base. Albert Pujols at first base bats third, followed by the slugging left fielder Matt Holliday, who leads the majors in batting average. Lance Berkman's in right field. Colby Rasmus in center. Gerald Laird, the backup catcher, gets a start tonight with Tyler Green at shortstop and Kyle McClellan, the pitcher.
Well, Nelson Figueroa going for the Astros tonight. Figgy looking for his first win. You look at his career against the Cardinals. 13 games, 3-1, 4.07 earned run average. Against them 4 times last year, once as a starter, pitched well, allowed 2 runs in 5 innings, picked up a W. That was right at the end of the year.
He gets a strike call from Ed Rapuano to even the count at 1-1 on Descalso. 256 for Descalso. He had quite a game in the opener of this series Tuesday night, 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. And that one a little bit up and in for ball 2. Figueroa, as JD mentioned, with that good start at the end of the season against the Redbirds last year, would love to get into that win column for the first time. It's been rough sledding for him. He's had one good start, and that was at home. Fly ball left field corner. Carlos Lee takes care of out number 1. Figgy pitched well here against San Diego on the 16th of April, giving up 2 earned runs in 6 2/3, but did not get the decision.
And a challenge for him against this club because the Cardinal team can really hit. Help will come from Leaborn and Pence in the outfield and infield of Johnson, Sanchez, Hall, who had the night off last night. Brett Wallace at first. Quintero will be behind home plate. Figgy working from the stretch and working quickly here, trying to set an aggressive tone.
He's up with that pitch to David Freese, the Corpus Christi native. Freese at 342. Has 2 homers, 11 runs batted in. Good looking young hitter in the early stages of the season with 3 hits in the series. That's on the edge, and it evens the count at 1-1 for Figueroa. Freese has a strong arm. He could really be something at third base if he stays healthy.
2 through 6 all hitting 300 or better in this Cardinal lineup, except for a 3-hole hitter. Pujols.
Oh yeah,
Pujols
that
guy. He's only hitting 250.
Bouncer Figgy. Over to Brett Wallace, 2 outs. Figueroa last time against Milwaukee gave up 6 earned runs in 4 innings, including 2 homers. One to Ryan Braun, the other to Giovanni Gallardo.
And not to be an excuse maker, but I will. The umpire that day was really shaky. He got, it was a real tight zone, and Figgy's one of those guys that has to be able to get those corner calls, and they just weren't there for him. That Milwaukee lineup's got a lot of firepower, so it's set up as it's going to be a very difficult day for any pitcher, especially for a finesse guy like Figgy. And so the final score of that ball game was 14-7. That gives you an idea of what the pitchers were up against.
Albert Pujols. That's a challenge for any pitcher. 7 homers, 18 runs batted in, 250 average. Strike 1 to Pujols, who had a hit, drove in a run, drew a walk last night. He had a pinch walk Tuesday night as he was coming back from left hamstring strain on Sunday night. That one swerves into the zone, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Figueroa looking pretty sharp early here.
Yeah, this is a good description, Brownie. That wasn't a slider or a curve. It was a swerve. A little swerve over the outside edge.
You've heard of slurves. And he got in on him.
Yeah, that's excellent command. And that's a pitch. In some of his starts, he's had a hard time when he's tried to go in on right-handed hitters. He's been able to throw it up but not get it in. He's left it out over the out over the plate, and obviously he can't afford to do that against Pujols.
Pujols reaches for that one, puts it in the air. Looked a little off balance on that swing. It's a high drive to right, caught by Hunter Pence. It's a 1-2-3 first for Figueroa against a team with a .297 batting average. Michael Bourne in center field. Angel Sanchez shortstop. Hunter Pence right field. Carlos Lee in left. Brett Wallace at first base. 367 for Brett. Bill Hall at second. Chris Johnson third base. Humberto Quintero the catcher for Nelson Figueroa. Michael Bourne gets it started. McClellan moves it away from him. Ball one. 291 for Michael. He has scored 18 runs. Driven in 7. 1 ball and 1 strike to Michael Bourne. Been a hard-hitting series between these two.
Well, he sure has. My goodness. And Kyle McClellan has been awfully good this year. 3-0 with a .216 ERA, one of the best in the National League so far, as he makes this move from the bullpen to the starting rotation. And so far, I guess you'd have to say it has been a seamless transition to 3 pretty solid years working out of the Cardinal bullpen. He has moved into that rotation and been very, very good.
Now 3 balls, 2 strikes. His last outing technically was in relief because the storm was coming in St. Louis. Tony La Russa did not start him, but he started reliever Miguel Batista. Batista faced 1 batter, walked him, and then there was a rain delay, and McClellan then came in after that rain delay and worked 6 innings of 7-hit 2-run baseball. Pretty good relief.
That's old school.
Yeah. He's had 3 starts, technically all quality work. Bouncer Pujols, 1 out for McClellan.
Well, McClellan, not an overpowering guy, but he's got a nice assortment of pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, and change. We'll take a look at the Cardinals defensively tonight. Outfield is Holiday, Rasmussen, Berkman. And the infield, a little different look. They're banged up in the middle, so Tyler Green filling in at short. Daniel Descalso getting the start at second. Gerald Laird's going to catch tonight. And he'll give Yadier Molina a little blow.
Angel Sanchez on a 5-game hitting streak. Counts as 1 foul. There's strike 1. He has started every Astros game. This is number 25 of the year. 305, 1 homer, 14 runs batted in. Very good offensive showing for the Astros shortstop. Clint Barmas could be back in the lineup tomorrow night. Brad Mills is not committing to that yet. Barmas is playing tonight for AA Corpus Christi on the road at Midland. If that goes well, he'll be back tomorrow night. And if he's in the starting lineup, that would be first time Sanchez has not played shortstop all season. Well, we'll wait and see what develops tonight. This one goes on a line. Lance Berkman moving over. 2 outs. Last time up, Sanchez hit the ball over Berkman's head last night. And that was for a ninth inning double. Hunter Pence at the end of the game struck out with Sanchez at second base as the Cardinals nailed it down 6-5. Hunter in the eighth inning had an RBI single, going 1 for 5, and 286 is his current average with 4 bombs. He's driven in 19. 4 for 10 with a homer in the series. And strike 1 from McClellan. Hunter's 4 for 11 against Kyle. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hunter's driven in 12 runs in 12 home games for the Astros. 3 homers in his last 7 games. Up the middle, and that shoots past a diving Descalso into center field for a 2-out single. He was really determined tonight around the batting cage. Oh, no, don't do that. Did you see the Ryan Braun episode?
What happened?
There was a young woman in the stands who made a marriage proposal via a sign that was shown on Milwaukee television to Ryan Braun. She put her phone number on there. She got 200 and some odd
and that's
voicemails.
That's not a good idea.
No. Carlos Lee in the air and on the right side. Descalso comes over toward the line for the 3rd out. No runs a hit and a man left. It's 0-0 after 1.
Saturday, the Astros take on the Brewers at 6:05 during Play Green Week, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Hunter Pence Play Green bobblehead courtesy of Grand Slam for Youth Baseball. Visit Astros.com today. Guys, have you had a look at that bobblehead yet?
Just what we see there. That's been it. How about you?
I haven't seen it up close and personal, but I don't know. I can't quite tell if I think that looks like Hunter or I think all bobbleheads look like Jeff Kent.
Well, he was the model.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he was the guy that was willing to go in there and pose, sit for hours. He was that kind of guy.
Yeah, something tells me that might not be the case.
Affable Jeff was more than happy to hang out.
2 balls, no strikes to Matt Holliday. 429. 3 homers, 13 runs batted in for Holliday. He has a .538 on base average. He's just been on the barrel with everything. Not that one.
Got that swerve working.
It's a good pitch to throw on 2-0. Location is everything, isn't it, JD?
Yeah, well, you know, the old adage about hitting is timing and pitching is upsetting timing. And the corollary, I guess, would be if you can't upset the timing, you got to hit some spots.
Holliday 5 for 8 with a homer in this series. He's on base 7 straight plate appearances. Gets that one off the end of the bat. That makes it a 3-2 count to Matt.
Holiday, a lifetime .319 hitter with an OPS of .936, and a lot of folks thought that was a product of playing in Colorado. And to a certain extent it was, but he put up monster numbers in St. Louis last year.
312, 28 homers, 103 driven in. And he draws a leadoff walk. Lance Berkman follows. You have Figueroa, who last year had a 3.29 ERA for 93 innings with Philadelphia and Houston. Just trying to get it going. He had that one good start we've talked about here against San Diego. But if he could do a job tonight against this hard-hitting Cardinal lineup, that might be a shot of confidence for him. Berkman with a .385 average, third best in the league, has 6 homers. He's driven in 17. There's ball 1 to Lance, who's 4 for 9 in this series with 2 runs batted in.
When we look at Nelson's game-by-game breakdown, you know, he's been up against pretty good lineups. And the Padres obviously don't hit a lot.
Bill Hall gets it to Sanchez and on to Wallace. Double play, 4-6-3.
Continuing a trend from last night's ball game. And the Astros turned 5 last night?
Yeah, 5. That was the most they had had since a game in 03.
It's trying to yank one through that hole on the right side. Not able to pull it far enough. And a nice tidy 4-6-3 double play. Clean up that leadoff walk.
Sanchez the middle man. Now it's Rasmus.
So anyway, let's talk about Figueroa and his game by game. First start was against the Reds. Real good lineup. Cubs, pretty good lineup. Then San Diego, not so much. And then Milwaukee. And now St. Louis. So
true.
Lots timing is really important in this game. You go through as a starting pitcher, sometimes you get into a nice run where you're up against some of the softer lineups. Other times you're just facing one group of thumpers after another.
He cuts that one inside. It's 3-0 to Rasmus. Well, this Cardinal team is a test for just about anybody right now. Leading the league in on-base average, slugging percentage, total bases, doubles, second in runs scored. Good pitch there, makes it 3-1.
Rasmus has a quick bat. He's good inside. He can handle that inside fastball pretty well.
He draws a 2-out walk. Last night he got a rest for the first time this season. Rasmus is aboard for Gerald Laird. Laird has a 3-game hitting streak. He's made 5 starts. Cardinals are 4-1 in those games. Hitting .250, and he has 3 doubles. Been known as a good throwing catcher down through the years. Veteran backup. Jason LaRue retired after last year. Runner going. Quintero's throw to Bill Hall. Hits the runner. Kicks out into left field. And Rasmus takes third base. That's going to have to be an error on Quintero. That's the way the rules are. If a throw hits the runner and it gets away, allowing him to advance, it's a tough error because he really made a throw there.
Yeah, that comes under the category of bogus, doesn't it?
Yep. That's bogus.
That's a tough break. That leads us back to our team error conversation.
Sure does. Third error on Quintero. Pitch was a strike. That was close.
It was a strike, too. It just wasn't called a strike.
1-1 to Laird. With a .250 batting average. Yadier Molina getting a rest tonight. Gerald Laird, 31 years old, from Westminster, California. Figgy just missed there, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
And according to Fox Tracks by Steele, it should be 0-3 right now. He's got a no-ball 3-strike count on him, and he's still hitting.
Why are we still here and not in commercial?
And he doesn't hit for much of an average on 0-3. Two
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got Laird to swing at that one. Laird played for Detroit last year, hitting .207 and 270 at bats. He first came to the big leagues with the Texas Rangers in '03. And he's off balance on that one, pops it up. Bill Hall out behind second. Good work by Figueroa. No runs, no hits, one error, one left, no score.
And on Saturday, May 28th, join the Astros for the first Faith and Family Night of 2011. The Astros host the Diamondbacks at 6:05, and after the game, fans can enjoy a free post-game concert with contemporary Christian artist Jeremy Camp. Tickets start at only $7. Visit Astros.com today, guys.
Thank you, Patty. Saturday, May 28th. It's always been a popular night here at the ballpark. Brett Wallace on a 7-game hitting streak. Looks at ball one. Former Cardinal first-round pick. Checks in at .367. With 1 homer, 9 runs batted in. He's hit .443 in his last 16 games.
He's got 4-3 hit games already this year.
He's just been barreling everything lately. Moved off the plate by a few inches, and that has made a world of difference. That has unlocked a lot of things for Wallace. That one goes out to left center. Rasmus pursues it. It's extra bases for Wallace. To the left of the 404 sign. A double, number 8 of the year, and an 8-game hitting streak for Wallace.
Not that easy. But he's making it look easy.
He really is.
Backdoor slider. Hammered. Love the way that bat comes through the zone. I've made this comparison before, but it reminds me of Billy Butler of the Royals. We've seen a little bit in interleague play.
Now Bill Hall has a runner at second with nobody out, returning to the starting lineup with a .230 average, 1 homer, 8 runs batted in, after getting a night off last night with Joe Inglet starting at second base. Inglet had only started 1 game. Brad Mills wanted to get him in. Bill Hall's numbers were not very good against last night's starter Kyle Lowe, so that's the way it worked out, and England wound up with 2 hits in the game. All just off the game winner in the bottom of the 9th the night before. This one goes to Pujols. All unable to get it over him, and it's out number 1. Our leaders of the game is brought to you by United, proud to fly the Houston Astros, showing you the Astros are hitting .298 at home, second highest in the league, and the Brewers, who will be here tomorrow night, are hitting .301 at home.
Cardinals on the road hitting .326. Both these teams doing a real nice job in these situations, runners in scoring position. Well above the league norm.
Chris Johnson. It's one high to left center field. Watch it go. CJ has unloaded. A 2-run shot. 2-0 Astros. Number 2 of the year for Chris Johnson.
Boy, how good did that feel? Been in pretty much a season-long funk. You gotta love that power stroke. Fastball moving in on him, but he gets the hands in, the barrel out, right below the train.
Chris Johnson hits number 2, and the Astros grab a 2-0 lead. Now ground ball to the left side by Quintero, fielded by Tyler Green, and out number 2. Astros are last in the league in homers. That one a timely shot. 3rd allowed by McClellan this season. CJ was talking about that catch Lance Berkman made on him in the right field corner last night, which gave him an 0 for 3 game. Night before, though, he squared some balls up, had a couple of hits, put the Astros ahead with a 2-run single in the 6th inning. So some positive things are happening after he came out of the 0 for 14.
Yeah, well, see, he's smart. The guy makes a big catch on you, hit it where they can't catch it. Catch that one, Lance.
Yeah. Figueroa bounces one to the left side. David Freese with the play to Pujols. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Astros. They lead it 2-0.
Weekend down in Baytown. It's the NHRA Spring Nationals at the Royal Purple Raceway, and I am joined out here with the defending champion Matt Hagan. And Matt, I know this is a great event for you. Obviously got your first win there last year. Tell us a little bit about the event.
You know, it's great. Houston's been good to me. I kind of swept Texas, so hoping to do it again here this year. It's great to come out here and throw out the first pitch this weekend. Really looking to meet some new fans out there this weekend. Come out, have a good time. Every ticket's a pit pass, and it's just going to be a great time.
Well, tell us about you out there throwing out that first pitch. You look like this is something you've done before. A little athletic. Maybe you can do some things outside of a car, clearly.
Well, I try, but, you know, it's like anything. Your blood still gets to pumping out there, and you got to calm yourself down. And at least I didn't bounce it this time, so I'm just really honored to be able to go out there and do that. And, you know, it's something I'll remember forever.
Tell us a little bit about the Royal Purple Raceway and what fans can expect out there. Not just the race, but there's a lot of things going on. This is a good family event.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to see an 8,000 horsepower race car going over 300 miles an hour in 4 seconds, so it doesn't get any faster. bring your earplugs because it's awful loud and it's a lot of fun. Like I said before, every ticket's a pit pass. You come out, you get to hang out. We'll sign some autographs. Bring the kids out. We'll put them right up beside the race car. So it's just a great event, and it's really going to be a good time.
Well, I know there's also some car shows, some meet and greets, and like you said, the pit pass. That's not usual on a racing circuit to be able to have that kind of access.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. The different circuits and stuff. You can't get that close. Here, you can get right beside this diehard funny car, and you can smell the fumes, and you'll see your eyes watering and choke you up. But it's just all about how close you want to get. So come on out. We're going to have a great time, and hopefully we'll be celebrating a win with everybody at the end of the weekend.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully you'll get a repeat. And for fans, if you guys want tickets, just go to RoyalPurpleRaceway.com. Come check Matt out. It's going to be a great weekend for everyone, guys.
All right. Thanks, Patty. Tyler Green hit the fly ball to center. Now Kyle McClellan has a 1-1 count.
I'll take Mrs. Doubtfire in that race.
Well, with the royal wedding coming up and everything, we needed to get that mentioned in there. 2 balls and a strike. McClellan is 3 for 10. 411-footer for Chris Johnson on his homer. Chopper to shortstop, charged by Sanchez. And Brett Wallace, 2 outs for Figueroa. Well, the way Figgy performed last year as a starter, it seemed that at age 35 he might have been turning a corner late in his career. In 11 starts, he was 4-3 with a 3.26 ERA. Came to camp knowing that he had the club made, but wanting to start, so he nailed down that number 5 starter spot. Now it's all about keeping it, and he's doing a nice job so far of doing that tonight.
Astros with a lead, first time in this series.
Daniel Descalzo hit a fly ball to left leading off the game. Ball 1 to him. Cardinals have made some changes in their middle infield because of injuries to Skip Schumacher. Ryan Terrio's out again tonight. Rib cage injuries kept him out for this series. It's 2-0. Redbirds move on to Atlanta next. The Astros play Milwaukee here, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. Brett Myers goes tomorrow night for the Astros against the hard-hitting Brewers, and Sean Markham. It's 3-1. Brewers came into today with the top 2 RBI men in the majors. Prince Fielder with 23, Ryan Braun with 21.
Oh, no wonder Ryan Braun's getting wedding proposals at the ballpark. Signed that long extension through 2020. He's got about $145 million coming his way.
Apparently he tried to call the lady and tell her that he already has a girlfriend. But her voicemail box was jammed. A strikeout, first of the night for Figueroa. Keeps him in the lead, 2-0.
MD Anderson Cancer Center, making cancer history. 1965, Mets announcer Lindsey Nelson calls the game from the Astrodome gondola some 208 feet above second base. And in play-by-play, should he be hit by a ball during play, they had a ground rule. He did not even take a pencil up there because they're afraid it would be a lethal weapon if he dropped it.
It would have been.
Our source for that one is nationalpastime.com. That's an interesting note because, as you guys both know, in later years, the gondola wasn't even up there anymore.
Right. And according to stories, Casey Stengel, the manager of the Mets, went out to meet with the umpires and exchange lineup cards, go over the ground rules. He said, "What are you going to do about my announcer?"
He was technically in play, but nobody got the ball near him.
Exactly. In tight to Michael Bourne.
Great moments in broadcasting history.
Scary moments in history. 2 balls and a strike. Bourne smacks one to left center field. It shoots the gap. Goes to the Cardinal bullpen wall. Bourne might want more than 2. Nope. Can't stretch it. Rasmus picks it up cleanly, and there's nobody out in the inning. He settles for his 8th double of the year.
Gotta love those leadoff doubles. Wallace had one in the second. He scored on the Johnson home run. Now Michael Bourne picks on a high 2-seam fastball moving across the plate, but no sinkage. He pounds it into the alley in left center. McClellan, not a hard enough thrower where he can survive high in the strike zone with his fastball very often. He's going to have to get the ball down, or the Astros are going to put a beat down on him.
Angel Sanchez, former infielders, pinching in, looks at ball 1.
Lindsey was probably pretty recognizable up there. He was noted for those garish jackets that he liked to wear.
Hey, who is that guy with a Madras jacket hanging from the ceiling?
Where's his ticket?
Bunted by Sanchez. It will trickle foul. Lindsey probably did about 1 inning from the gondola and said, "We now move to further action in the ninth."
Yeah, after an exchange of punts.
Well, it's all about advancing the runner to third here. With nobody out, and the Cardinals are well aware of Sanchez's talents in that regard. His ability to hit the ball to the right side, to bunt, all coming into play here.
Not a bad idea there, trying to drop down a bunt for a base hit and push Michael along and reach yourself. He's very adept at hitting the ball, steering the ball to the right side, so he's a good fit in the 2-hole in the lineup.
Up the middle. Michael breaks for third. Will make it easily on the Tyler Green play. And that's what having speed and getting a jump can do.
And rule of thumb for a base runner: ball in front of you, stay put; ball behind you, go ahead and go. But sometimes on a sharply hit ground ball, if it's right at you or just behind you, shortstop could still make a play on you, but not with Bourne's speed.
Sanchez does his job, and Hunter Pence has a runner at third and 1 out. He hit a sharp single into center field in the first inning. Albert Pujols way off the first base line. Infielders run in. And it's a nice block by Laird, ball 1. Well, that is textbook. Taking that one off the protector with the chest leaning forward.
Yeah, you got to get the catcher's mitt out of the way a lot of times. You try to pick it, and that's when you mishandle it.
Infielders start back. Now they're coming in on the right side only, and there's a line drive to left. 3-0 Astros. Pence with an RBI single. He is punishing the baseball tonight. That's his 20th run batted in for the club leader. Double, a ground out, and a single, and the Astros lead by 3.
That time McClellan up a little bit with a breaking ball. So he is having a real nice start to his 2011 season, but he is vulnerable tonight. Giving up some hard hit balls.
Carlos Lee, who popped a second on the first pitch in the first inning, now 0 for his last 16. He came out for early hitting before the game, either yesterday or the day before, and said he just wasn't ready to hit. He's working on preparation. Strike 1 to him.
Yeah, you know, hitters get into a rhythm at home plate, and they like to get set and loaded at a certain time so they can go get the ball. Yeah, but sometimes just get out of sync. When they're out of sync, you see a lot of swings like that. So if you ever get out to see the Astros take batting practice, you'll see hitting coach Mike Barnett actually move from one side of the cage to the other side of the cage, so he gets a bird's eye view looking directly at the hitter. I've never seen any other hitting coach do that.
I haven't either. Rolled up the line at first. McClellan drops it. No throw from Laird. Well, McClellan with an easy play in front of him failed to make it, and Lee is safe at first with Pence moving to second.
They're opening the door here. Second error by a Cardinal pitcher in this series. This is just all about the magic. The masse, the spin on this thing is out of control. That thing just, look at it, just spun out of his glove. Nobody could make that play. Nobody in the world could make that play. That ball had so much spin on it.
If Laird had thrown that one, it would have hit him right between the eyes.
That ball is going zzz.
Now first and second, one out for Brett Wallace. He led off the second inning with a double to left center. Asmus playing him straight up. And there goes Hunter Pence for third. Laird with a throw in the dirt. He makes it. Oh, good quick reaction.
Well, yeah, you don't get that 90 feet right there unless you're anticipating the ball in the dirt. You can't be surprised by that and then make it to third base there. You have to anticipate that and break right away. You see Hunter shuffle, sees the ball in the dirt. Gone. Big 90 feet with just one out.
Yes.
The time to do it.
Wild pitched into third. Now first and third, one down. Bill Hall on deck. Wallace fouls it away. 1-1 to Brett, who has back-to-back 3-hit games. And in fact, 3 of his last 4. 3 hits, up to 375 with that double tonight. Since the 7th of April, he leads the majors in hitting, 443. Cardinals traded him to Oakland in the Matt Holliday deal. He has come back in head-to-head play with St. Louis to get 13 hits and 22 at-bats.
McClellan continues to work up in the zone with that fastball. I think he's asking for trouble up there.
Well, you pointed it out earlier. That really has not been his style. He likes to get the ground balls.
Curveball may be his best pitch. With 2 strikes, he likes to try to finish hitters off with that curveball.
In his first start against the Pirates, every time he went to 2 strikes on a hitter, he said he went to his curve. And as a starter, he had not used it as much as he thought he would. Ball is down on strikes.
Snapped off a dandy there. The previous one wasn't quite so sharp, but that one was a really good one.
Laird takes it on the short hop. First strikeout of the night for McClellan. Now it's Bill Hall. Hall hit a looping liner to Albert Pujols first time up. Kyle McClellan, 25th round draft choice of the Cardinals in 2002, is from the St. Louis suburb of Florissant. 26 years old.
He signed out of high school and worked primarily as a starting pitcher early in his minor league career, and then transitioned to the bullpen 2007 thereabouts. Came to the big leagues with St. Louis in 08, and pretty sturdy guy for them out there in the pen.
75 innings last year. Runner going. Carlos Lee without a throw. Nobody going to cover. Will move into second base. Carlos Lee takes off and steals it. His first stolen base of the year.
McClellan paying him no mind over there. Little infielders didn't even break.
Another man in scoring position with a 1-1 count on Hall. McClellan said that he always tried to use all of his pitches in relief because he always had it in the back of his mind that he wanted to start, so he welcomed this opportunity with the injury to Adam Wainwright.
He was a candidate for the rotation last year, had a very good spring, but lost out to Garcia, and that worked out well. Garcia had a heck of a rookie campaign last year.
44 pitches for McClellan. Cardinals throwing 3 starting pitchers in the top 5 in ERA in the National League at the Astros in this 3-game series. Curveball gets Hall on strikes, and the Astros add to their lead with a run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 men stranded. They lead it 3-0 after 3.
Youth baseball leagues in your local community. They have been for years. Go to ChevyBaseball.com for a chance at winning a home field makeover. Believe me, every infielder is in favor of that. Smooth it out, get out the rocks, fix the fences.
Yeah.
ChevyBaseball.com is the place.
Ball 1 to David Freese, leading it off in the 4th inning. 3-0 Astros. Nelson Figueroa has survived a couple of walks, got a double play ball. And now a shot into left field. And Freese has the first Cardinal hit of the night. With Pujols and Holiday behind him.
And just like that, the no-hitter is gone.
Pujols hit a fly ball to right in the 1st inning. Toronto got 3 in the 9th and 1 at Texas today, 5-2. Pujols looks at ball 1. Frank Francisco, the former Ranger, won that game for the Blue Jays, beating Darren Oliver. Fly ball to right. Hunter Pence. 1 down.
Both Pujols and Berkman do not have good numbers against Nelson Figueroa in their careers. They're the 2 guys in this lineup that have seen Nelson the most. Lance 3 out of 14 coming into play today. Albert 2 out of 13, so he's 2 out of 15 now. Figueroa.
Matt Holliday drew a leadoff walk in the 2nd inning. On opening day, he hit a very impressive home run, a pitch, a fastball down and away, and he just drove it to right center field. And then he promptly missed the next 7 or 8 games with that appendectomy. But he was able to pick right up from there without a problem. Pretty impressive. Pop foul, goes back out of play, and it's 0-2.
With that in mind, you see where Quintero set up for that last fastball. They were trying to go in on him. All these big sluggers are so strong, and they love to get their arms extended, so you got to make sure you do your work inside. You can't let them take liberties. When you do shoot for that outside corner, you don't want them to be able to go out there and dive out there and just hammer that ball.
He's got the arms of a Michelin man. Snap throw to first. Freeze diving back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you see Q calling for that pitch away and then flashing the leather off the outside edge even further. He didn't want that ball put in play. He wanted a pitch out away from him that he could handle and then make this pickoff throw. And it was there in time.
Yeah.
The sweep tag just, I think, over the hand. I think that tag was actually early.
It was. Glove pass in front of his hand before it got to the base. And Freeze was diving between the legs of Wallace. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Quintero goes out to talk with Figueroa. Bud Norris threw his bullpen today. No difficulties with the hamstring. That was just a minor problem in his last start. Wilton Lopez threw a good bullpen today. He's due for a simulated game on Saturday. He might be back by early next week.
When's he due to come off the DL? Not before the homestand ends, correct?
Correct. Check on that date. But yeah, that early next week would be a good target to shoot for.
Yeah, because as a relief pitcher, you don't need to send him out on a rehab assignment for the simulated game. If all goes well, you can just move him back into the bullpen. Look,
that throw gets away. Freeze heads for second. He looks over his shoulder now. He's going to go on to third. Here's Bill Hall's throw to third. And it's there, and he's out. Jose Oquendo was trying to hold him up, but Freeze just kept on churning. He looked over his right shoulder, and that is not the way you're taught to do it, running the bases.
Ill-advised to test the arm of Bill Hall. You know, a lot of second basemen don't throw very well, but Hall came up as a shortstop, and he's got a good arm. That's not even close.
Nope.
Freeze wanted to freeze it. Freeze it!
Well, they missed him on the tag at first, but they got him on that tag at third. Holiday takes, and it's 3-2. Yeah, that was very, very aggressive base running. Fly ball to right field. Hunter Pence moving over toward the line. Makes the grab on the run. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. And it is 3-0 Astros. A cold hard blast is provided by the Astros third sacker, Chris Johnson. It's a happy flight for that baseball, very high up on the left center field wall. Two-run homer back in the second inning, scoring Brett Wallace, who had doubled. Now Kyle McClellan throws, and there's strike one to CJ here in the fourth inning.
That's that comes into the category of there's no way he thinks I'm going to pump another fastball right down the middle again, and that's exactly what he did.
Colby Rasmus over toward right center. Now he watches Lance Berkman make the play. One out. Well, McClellan gave up that two-run homer in the second, then another run in the third. Trails at 3-0. That play on Freeze went from 4 to 5.
Pretty windy here last night. It's relatively calm tonight. The ball probably had a little slicing action on it.
Quintero takes up high for ball one. Q's on a 3-game hitting streak. Astros catchers combined are hitting .329. Number 8 hitters hitting .337 for the Astros this year. Boy, number 8 hitters, .337. That is just another world.
It's pretty saucy.
Nelson Figueroa's on deck.
What the pitchers are doing isn't saucy. It's just flat out absurd.
.349 for the Astro pitcher. Broken bat. It goes to left field. Holiday's underneath. 2 outs. But Barrow wound up out at shortstop.
Still hit the ball a good long ways.
Yes, it did. Gorgeous night out tonight.
Oh my goodness, it's just perfect.
What was our temperature at game time? We didn't catch that.
I don't know. Just really, really good. We got the Village people here. Or some.
Looks like we might.
I'll be down at Royal Purple this weekend.
Charlie Sheen was in town. Struck one too.
That.
Figueroa.
A little Tiger blood was around.
He wanted to take some BP with the Cardinals before a game here. Little tapper to shortstop, backhanded. Green with the throw. And after 4, the Astros lead it 3-0. Is brought to you by Gullo, treating you like family, and by AT&T. Nice run of pennants, and of course the Astros and Cardinals have been the two teams that have grabbed their share down through the years since the NL Central began in '94. They've been very good competitors. And this series has put their talents on display with a couple of one-run decisions, one going to each team. Lance Berkman leads it off in the 5th inning. He bounced into a 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Now, both these teams have been in double figures in hits both Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Fans have been treated to plenty of offense. There's strike one to Berkman. Cardinals currently 2 games over 500 at 13 and 11. Berkman rips a line drive. That'll scream out to the right field corner. Hunter Pence digging it out. Berkman into second with a leadoff double. His 8th of the year.
Boy, that was a vicious swing. He appears to be back. You know, you see the numbers and you think, okay, Lance is swinging the bat pretty well, but is he Lance of old, or is he just kind of a guy who's run into some things? But when you look at the swing, he looks to be right back into his prime.
Well, he has his legs strengthened. Last year he was hitting primarily with his upper body because of the knee surgery. Snap throw to second. Lance has seen that a few times. After ball one to Rasmus.
He's looking at shaking the cue. No, you're not going to get me a cue. You better be careful. He'll take a shot, another shot on the very next pitch.
Oh yeah, you don't want to challenge him. Rasmus walked and stole a base back in the 2nd. Lays off that pitch for ball 2. Cardinals have won 4 consecutive series. Strike there makes it 2-1. Brad Mills was talking about Nelson Figueroa's fastball, and that was a good example of what he said before the game. Now, like any other pitcher, he really needs to be precise with it, to throw it for a strike, but not catch too much of the plate.
Well, that time it was, the 2-0 pitch there was on the plate, but down around the knees, had a little run on it. But I think what he's done well tonight is early in the game he established breaking ball in fastball counts. He was throwing 2-0 sliders or swerves, and that kind of allows you to sneak that 2-0 fastball by a hitter every now and then, because they start to think about the off-speed pitch coming in those fastball counts.
That's his 3rd walk. We go to Patty Smith. Patty.
All right, thanks, guys. This is Carla from the Japanese Chiropractic Association. These are our good friends. They come out here every single year. And, Carla, you've got a great group of about 80 people out here today.
We have a wonderful group. We're offering to, they're from the Japanese Chiropractic Association. We're affiliated with Texas Chiropractic Association. They're super excited to be here after everything they've been through, and we are so happy to have them. Yay! Go Astros!
Well, I was a little concerned, Carla, whether these guys would come out this year because of all that they've gone through, but I would imagine it's probably just a nice getaway.
It absolutely is. They have had a wonderful time at Texas Chiropractic and here again at the Astro game, and they're winning. Go Astros!
All right, for that, all of you are progressive fans of the game. That's for you to split amongst all 80 people, but we look forward to seeing you next year and glad to have them out here at Minute Maid Park, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Patty. Gerald Laird at the plate. The count is 1-1.
I could get my neck cracked.
Pretty good chance you could get some work done. They all had perfect posture, of course, as they stood there. In the past, they've supported Kaz Matsui when he was an Astro, and they came out. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, Laird doesn't hit for a lot of power, but every now and then he'll run into one. I'm thinking here, if you're Figgy's ground ball, get a double play, clean up this inning.
Laird, a 2nd-round draft choice of Oakland in '98. Line shot to center field. Berkman's being sent home by Oquendo. Throw from Michael Bourne cut off by Wallace. Berkman scores, and it's 3-1. On the RBI single by Laird, his first run batted in. Pretty aggressive send for Oquendo with nobody out, but The run scored.
Yeah, it sure was. Maybe his thinking is we're down towards the bottom of the order. When the ball's directly to center field like this, the third base coach knows that the throw either has to carry the mound, or there's a good chance it's going to hit the mound and lose some steam, so there's a pretty good chance it's going to be cut.
Laird drives in the run. Oquendo now paying his attention to Rasmus at second. And it's Green batting. 3 straight Cardinals have reached base. Green hit a fly ball to center in the third.
Nothing cheap about either of the hits. Lance's double, Laird's single, both really well centered.
Green takes it. It's strike one. Tyler, a first-round pick back in 05 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Got to the big leagues in 09 after spending college time at Georgia Tech. Has not had extensive big league playing time. Bouncer slowly hit. Bill Hall turns and gets it to Sanchez. He looks at third but doesn't have a play there. 1 out on the 4-6 force on Laird. Not a bad idea, though. Sometimes the runner rounds third a little bit too far on a play like that, but Rasmus did not.
Yeah, and what some middle infielders will do when they're trying to backdoor guy on a play like that, they won't look and hope to see he makes a big turn. They'll just throw it there automatically because sometimes it's just a matter of a step or two around the bag. And that's when you get that out.
True. Kyle McClellan is around to bunt. Now he pulls the bat back and squares again, pushes it. Figueroa takes the out at first, and it's a sacrifice for McClellan. Green to second base, 2 outs. That gives Descalso a couple of runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 2. He had a most impressive night, as we were mentioning Tuesday, going 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. He was hitting in the 8th spot in the order, and he had 2 doubles and a triple. Cardinals drafted him in the 3rd round in 07. And a little close for ball 1. Tampa Bay rolled over Minnesota 15-3.
Ben Zobrist had 8 RBIs in that game.
Ooh.
It's part of a split doubleheader. Game 2 now. They're in the 4th inning, and Tampa leads 3-0 up in Minnesota.
If somebody gets hurt for the Rays, Joe Maddon's probably going to go off on a tirade because he's already said that was just an invitation to injury, day-night doubleheader. He really detests that scheduling. Players get fired up, they play for a few hours, then they sit down for a few hours, fire it up again. 2 balls and a strike.
I was on a team in the minor leagues that once played a triple header.
Oh, no. How did that scheduling go?
I was up in Maine, and it was the final trip in for the year, and they had a bunch of rainouts. That I think early in the year it was like snow, and then in the middle of the year it was just rainy nasty, and they just had a whole bunch of games backed up.
Scalzo bangs it off his leg. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So it's just bing, bing, bing. 20 minutes in between.
One real early,
okay.
and then like a doubleheader in the evening.
Okay. What did you guys do after the first game?
Played cards, like all good baseball players used to do during rain delays and doubleheaders.
I don't see as much of that anymore, though.
Well, you just don't see doubleheaders very often. And now, the way the clubhouses are outfitted, I mean, large screen TVs with Barca loungers and movies. And you still see the occasional card game and dominoes. Yeah, iPads. All right.
Isn't that beautiful?
iPads?
No, that shot.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
that is. It's gorgeous. It's a postcard.
Another foul ball keeps Descalzo in the count at 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I've been trying to work him inside with that cutter.
74 pitches for Figueroa. Seattle down Detroit 7-2. He got him. Ed Rapuano rang it up. Figueroa hit his spot with that fastball. And the Cardinals came up with a run on 2 hits. They left 2. Figueroa made the big pitch of the inning to end it. 3-1 Houston. Cardinals just got a run in the top of the 5th. The Astros lead it 3-1 with Michael Bourne leading off the bottom half. Kyle McClellan is high with that one, and it's ball 1 to Bourne, who doubled to left center in the 3rd and came around to score on a single by Pence. Off-speed pitch works for McClellan, and he evens the count at 1-1. Rookie sensation Michael Pineda of the Mariners won that game at Detroit. He struck out 9.
That inside corner is kind of floating tonight. That Pineda kid, boy, you get him and King Felix 1-2 in a rotation. And with him.
Holiday back and left, and he catches up with it. 1 down. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, tomorrow the Astros take on the Brewers at 7:05, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Play Green t-shirt courtesy of Waste Management as part of Play Green Week. Stick around after the game for Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. And tomorrow, Chris Johnson's going to be visiting some school kids. Ground ball, Sanchez up the middle. Tyler Green.
Speaking of Play Green.
Yeah.
You know, Greg had a good idea. He said in honor of Play Green, the Astros and the Cardinals should play this game with just 1 baseball.
That would save on a lot of cowhide and
save the pitchers too.
Yeah, it would be very interesting toward the end of the game. Of course, the fans would have to throw all the foul balls back. But they'd want to do that because they would be contributing to the green philosophy.
Broken bat, you just throw a little tape on it. Yeah. Maybe take it in the clubhouse, get a hammer and nail, and patch it back together. That's what we did when we were kids.
Strike to Hunter Pence. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI.
I guess they probably won't do that, though.
No, but I think you should bring it up.
All right, Bud.
Yeah.
I'll write Bud a letter.
Bud has some rather pressing concerns these days.
Maybe next year on Earth Day.
Yes.
Play Green campaign for the Astros this week. Hunter got out yesterday with that Habitat for Humanity group. Chris Johnson tomorrow with the visit to Heritage Elementary School. The kids can ask him about his home run tonight. CJ will be there from 12 to 1. Hop back out of play, 1-2. And a good time for conservation tonight with the open air approach for this ball game. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hunter. Ryan Vogelsong won for San Francisco 5-2 at Pittsburgh.
His former club, isn't it?
Yep. He hadn't pitched in years in the big leagues. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the Giants won that game with save number 7 from Brian Wilson.
How does Beard do?
Don't know. Somebody must have feared it. There's a 2-out walk. Hunter's on for the 3rd straight time.
Well, McClellan's actually settled down nicely. The Astros had him on the ropes in the 3rd after scoring their 3rd run. Had runners on 2nd and 3rd, just 1 out. And he struck out Brett Wallace, Billy Hall to finish that inning. Just walked to Hunter, the first base runner he's allowed since then.
Carlos Lee 0 for his last 17 now, trying to get going the other way. Reached on an error his last time up. Hunter draws a throw.
Yeah, a little bit of an advantage in the running game with Molina not catching, but Laird throws well. Also, just not as good as Molina. Laird, I think about 36% caught stealing for his career. That's a pretty good number.
It is. And that's a fair ball. It kicks out towards center field. Hunter's going to get to 3rd, and Dave Clark will stop him. Tyler Green with looping toe. He's coming through the stop sign, and he scores. Tyler Green was way out in left field and an off-balance looping throw, and Hunter Pence got home to make it 4-1. On the RBI double by Carlos Lee.
It's interesting to contrast Tyler Green with Nick Punto. Punto, when he played short the other night, went out and made a couple plays on caroms on balls down the line, and he got to the ball in a hurry. I'm sure this one kicked out a little bit further. Clark throws up the stop sign, but Hunter pretty much already committed. Throw did not have a lot of steam on it, and Hunter, good hustle play.
It really was. Nice straight in, quick slide. Carlos snaps the 0 for 17. Gets his 4th double, 14th run batted in. Sharply hit ball near the bag at 3rd.
Nice to have that kind of speed on the bases and pick up that RBI. Kind of speed and aggressiveness. And a look of relief from Carlos.
Yes. Bubble has burst on that slump. Brett Wallace doubled in the 2nd inning and scored. He struck out in the 3rd. 6 hits for the Astros. That's ball 1. Well, the questions were starting to arise for the manager, Brad Mills, about Carlos. And he said, no, it's not time to move him in the lineup. Too early in the season for that. Bouncer to 2nd. Descalzo over to Pujols. And the 2-out rally starts with a walk, continues with a slump-busting double for Carlos Lee. It's now 4-1. to third, and he is gunned down on the tag by Chris Johnson.
Bill Hall made that relay home in the Milwaukee series.
Yes.
He's got a good arm.
Very good arm. Now Freese leads it off in the 6th inning. He singled in the 4th to get on. He's 1 for 2. You see that base running all too much at the major league level. The guy's going from first to second. The play is behind him. He's trying to look over his right shoulder. He has a third base coach who's looking right at the play. All he has to do is glance a little bit to his left and pick up that coach, who will help him. 1-1.
Kids these days, they don't want to be told anything. I'm telling you. I don't have this independent streak. I know what I'm doing. I can do it. It just drives you nuts.
Pitch outside, and it's 3-1.
These coaches are up against.
And you've got coaches who send the guys into outs at home plate. Who's to be trusted in this game anyway? Foul back. It's 3-2.
Yeah, that's the bigger question. Who can you believe in?
Figueroa with a 4-1 lead has surrendered 3 hits. Laced into left field. Freese has been right on a couple pitches tonight. He's looked pretty good at the plate in this series. If he can stay healthy this year, the Cardinals could really have something in him.
Trying to bust one over the outside corner, looked like. Stayed up and over the middle. Good looking swing.
Uses a board for Albert Pujols, who twice has flied to right. Ball 1 to Albert.
It's a huge inning for Nelson as he works in the 6th inning. All quiet in the Astros bullpen right now. But if he can get through this 6th, this fat part of the Cardinal batting order unscathed, he'd be in great shape.
Top foul.
Pretty much be assured if he gets through this 6th inning with a 4-1 lead, he will not get a loss in this game, because if he gets in trouble, it'll be bullpen time.
Jay Happ went 5 innings last night. He gave up 2 runs. He came out of the game after throwing 101 pitches in that game. And Brad Mills was asked about it after the game. Why did you take him out after 5? He said, well, if we sent him out for the 6th, it probably would have been more like 116 pitches or so for 6 innings. And we really didn't want to have him throw that many pitches at this point of the season. Fernando Abad's warming up for Houston right now. That's cued into right field. It just barely makes it. Hunter Pence will have to come all the way in and get it. That gives Freese plenty of time to get to third. Pujols just found a hole, and it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Pujols shaking his head. He realizes he didn't put a real good swing on that one. Fernando Abad starts to loosen. Perhaps if he can get ready quickly enough for a confrontation with Berkman, turn him around to the right side. If not, Rasmus, the left-handed hitter, would follow.
Now, Holiday, certainly a guy who can tie this game very quickly. He's walked and hit a fly ball to right. But he could also bounce into a double play. Berkman's on deck. And it's ball 1 for Figueroa. I think Figueroa, though, you talk about a pitch count, as we were with Jay Happ last night, would be a little different story, perhaps. You know, he's a lot older pitcher. 86 pitches in the game from him. And I don't know, for some reason, Brad Mills might not agree with this, but I just think that a Jay Happ might be treated a little differently in that regard on pitch count than a Nelson Figueroa. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, different style pitchers and different style deliveries. Figueroa is kind of a limber armed guy who, you get the sense he could throw all day and not really have any issues. And Happ, not only was it 100 pitches, but 100 pitches in 5 innings. So that speaks to the fact that you've had some tough innings. You've worked hard. You've labored to get through those 5 innings. And the other thing in that game last night, it was a 2-0 game, and there was no signs at all you're going to get anything going against Loesch. So, why not pinch hit and try something?
Yeah.
You're only going to get one more out of Jay. You weren't going to get any more than one more inning out of it.
It was upstairs, and it's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And, this is where Brad Arnsberg comes in, and his experience, knowledge of the pitchers. When is somebody tiring? When is he apt to make a mistake, hang a pitch? That's what a manager relies on with his pitching coach.
Well, and then, you get into this stage of the game, and now the middle of the order is getting their 3rd look at Nelson, and that's when you start to see those batting average against a pitcher start to move up typically, 3rd time, 4th time through the order as they get more looks at him.
A good point. That's up, and it's 2-2.
That was up by intention. That's not a bad idea because for the most part tonight he's been working downstairs with fastball and that slider. So he hasn't really changed the eye level very often. And that's the other thing. Most of his pitches kind of come in on the same plane. He's not throwing a big looping curveball or anything like that.
Popped up. Wallace over. Running out of room. Unable to get there. Close to an out.
The little voices in the heads on that one would have been fun because Holliday's little voice is screaming, "Get out of here," and Figgy's little voice is screaming, "Stay in here." We'll have to throw this monster another pitch.
And he is, too. He's one of the best hitters in the game, obviously, and he's hit .326 lifetime against the Astros. That's flared into right field, and it'll loop in for a hit in front of Pence. And a run scores. 4-2. Pujols was holding, and Hunter came in, took it, but Pujols was able to get there on the RBI single for Holliday to second base. Holliday gets his 14th run batted in.
And Brad Mills now looks like he's going to make the move to Abad. Bad break there for Figueroa. These last 2 hits, Pujols and Holliday, 2 great hitters for sure, but neither one of those balls was well struck at all.
No.
So heavy lifting for the bullpen again tonight.
Nonetheless, Figueroa had 3 hitless innings to start the game. He leads with a lead of 4-2. This call to the bullpen is presented by Verizon Wireless. Abad is on his way. More in a moment. The batter, the Astros leading. Cardinals have put 3 straight on here in the 6th on singles. They have runners at first and second with nobody out. Nelson Figueroa leaves the game. Lefty Fernando Abad coming in to turn around Berkman.
Yeah, Brad Mills wants the advantage here. Critical time in this ball game, so he brings in his 1 lefty. Turns Berkman around to the right side, and then left-handed hitting Colby Rasmus to follow. The numbers for Abad are solid. 1-1, 2.89 ERA through 13 ball games.
Berkman, as a right-handed batter, is 5 for 18, 278 this season. Lance ripped a double to right field in the 5th inning batting left. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Abad, not your true situational lefty on lefty type pitcher. Time is called.
Make sure they're together on the signs or whatever it is they want to do with Lance here.
Right-handed hitters are hitting .333 against Abad, 7 for 21 with 1 homer. Fernando worked 2/3 of an inning Tuesday night in the Astros 6-5 win over the Redbirds. He came in with a 1-run lead in the 7th, 4-3. Walked a couple. Looked like it came into the zone.
I'm pretty sure that was in the strike zone. Had a lot of movement. And fooled Ed.
1-0 to Berkman.
Borderline.
Deep drive to left field, and Berkman has hit a 3-run homer. The Cardinals lead at 5-4. Home run number 7 of the season, giving him 20 runs batted in. 152nd home run for Lance Berkman at Minute Maid Park. He's the all-time leader in this ballpark.
Fans don't know whether to boo, clap, sit on their hands. Beloved figure, but a crushing blow in this game. Lance, last couple of years from the right side, very unproductive, but he's strong. You know, the year he was in the home run derby here during the All-Star game, he did it from the right side. He gets into a groove with that right-handed swing. He can hit it a long way. The swing is much more polished as a left-handed hitter. It's a prettier swing, but if he runs into one right-handed, he can hit it a long way.
And he gave the Cardinals a 1-run lead with Rasmus at 0-1 in the count now. And Nelson Figueroa in 5 innings plus allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, walking 3, fanning 2. He gets a no decision. Abad now is on the hook. Berkman's run belonging to him. Line drive by Rasmus into right field. And he's on for the 3rd straight time after drawing 2 walks. That's 5 straight Redbird hits here in the 6th inning. Astros relievers have a 4.48 ERA, next to last in the National League. Conference at the mound before facing Laird now with nobody out.
Pitching, both the starting and the relief pitching, has been subpar to this point.
He could have had a win, but Figueroa gets an ND.
Sometimes you need a little help from your friends, and it didn't happen for him tonight.
8 hits for St. Louis. Gerald Laird got one of those, and he drove in a run in the 5th inning. That was the first Cardinal run of the night.
8 hits. First hit didn't come until the 4th inning. Single by Freese in the 4th, and a double single and a walk in the 5th before this run here in the 6th.
He started. The appeal went down to first base. Check swing call by Alfonso Marquez. It's ball 1 to Laird. Well, Abad 5 times had come in and protected leads prior to this game tonight. Foul ball makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
For another 6-5 game here, Brownie.
It's getting a little wild. Well, that's been the tone and the tenor of this series, certainly. Explosive offense. And once again, these two teams are headed for double figures in hits. And plenty of offensive excitement for the fans. Bob misses there, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Cardinal bullpen had a rough night last night, giving up 5 runs to the Astros in the last 2 innings of that game. It's 2-2. Tampa Bay 5, Minnesota nothing in game 2 of that doubleheader at Minnesota.
And Zobrist hit a home run in that game too.
Oh, wow. Jeff Neiman on the mound. Now it's a 3-ball 2-strike count to Laird. Cubs in Arizona just getting underway. And it's Barry Enright going for his first win of the year for Arizona.
So far, Zobrist has 10 RBI in this doubleheader.
Wow.
8 in game 1, 2 so far in the nightcap.
Rasmus stole a base earlier, his 3rd of the year.
I don't know what the record for RBIs in a doubleheader is, but didn't Mark Whitten drive in 13 in a single game once or something like that?
I think that was a doubleheader.
Well, that was a doubleheader. I was going to say, my goodness.
Here's what the Cardinals said. It's ball 4. And the string of Cardinal base runners continues. That's 6 in a row who have reached base. Brad Arnsberg is coming out for a bod. Tyler Green due up next. Then the pitcher's spot.
Movement in the Astros bullpen, nobody throwing yet. It's a tough spot they're in right now. Mills and Arnsberg trying to figure out how to work their way through this game. With bullpen having worked hard in the first 2 games of the series, you're hoping to get, not into one of those situations where you're running one guy after another out of that bullpen, but you got a chance to win a ball game. You don't want to let this one slip too far away. So Big Jeff Fulcino starts to heat it up.
Green is 0 for 2. Rasmus and Laird, the base runners for him. And the bod falls behind, ball 1. Slowly hit grounder. Sanchez back to Bill Hall for the force play there. Good play to get Laird. That's 1 out. Runners at 1st and 3rd with Green reaching and Rasmus taking 3rd.
Same situation in the 5th inning. McClellan dropped down a bunt, a sacrifice bunt, put runners on 2nd and 3rd for Descalso. Figueroa was able to strike him out to end that threat. We'll see how the Cardinals play it here. In this frame, most likely the same way. They can give him a swing.
Yeah. Fouls it away, strike 1. He's a member of the starting pitching fraternity now. Has 3 hits for the season. He's allowed to swing. Since April 11th, the Cardinals have hit .337 to lead the majors.
Mark Whitten got those 12 RBIs in a single game.
Oh, he did. Wow.
On the record of Jim Bottomley.
Nate Colbert had a huge doubleheader one time.
Okay, that's what it was. Whitten had 12 in the game and 13 in the doubleheader.
Okay.
So he got 1 more in the. And Colbert had 13 in the doubleheader as well.
Okay.
American League record is 11.
Boy. Mr. Zobrist has a distinct shot at that. Squeeze. And the bunt stays fair, and now will be a foul ball. Rasmus was coming home. The bunt was put down, but it trickled foul. And now it's 1-2.
Yeah, and if ever there was a time to let that ball roll, it's a play like that when it's not just a base you're worried about giving up, but a run. There was no play at home, so let it roll and hope it goes foul.
Cardinals have parlayed the 4 spot here in the 6th inning into the lead. With Lance Berkman providing a 3-run homer. Up the right field line, it's slicing away from Hunter Pence, who watches it go back into the seats.
Pretty good swing.
Yeah.
Hit that ball with authority.
He did. It traveled about 320 feet.
Get careless here.
2 strikes in the count. He whacked it. Yankees lead the White Sox 9-3 at Yankee Stadium, top of the 7th inning. Brett Gardner hit his 3rd home run. Sanchez and Hall are set up for a double play. It's high. 2-2 for McClellan.
See where Major League Baseball is investigating Ozzie Guillen tweeting after he got ejected last night. That game at Yankee Stadium.
That's true. He's not allowed to communicate, right? Well, I don't know that that's true.
Apparently MLB has some rules about social media.
Right.
And you're supposed to, players and staff and whoever does it, they're supposed to stop half hour before game and resume at some point after the game. But it's kind of a gray area what happens to a manager when he's ejected.
True.
Probably pass a new rule, the Ozzie rule.
Bouncer up the middle. Sanchez cannot flag it down. Rasmus trots home to make it 6-4 St. Louis on an RBI single for McClellan. It's his 3rd run batted in, and the Cardinals are having quite an inning here in the 6th. Tough sledding for Fernando Abad.
Throwing up a 5 spot, and they're looking for more. Everybody getting it done. Those last couple innings, they've had one good at bat after another. A little good fortune in those base hits by Pujols and Holiday. But beyond that, most of these balls pretty well hit.
Descalzo's 0 for 3. Taking strike 1. He's the 9th Cardinal to bat in the inning. Cardinals had a 6-run inning at Arizona April 13th. And they've scored 5 here as the count goes to 0-2 on Descalzo. Scoreboard showing 1-1. Ed Rapuano waving 2 fingers in the air, indicating it's an 0-2 count. Now it's rectified. In tight, almost got him with that one, and it's 1-2 for Fernando Abad. You know, Brad Mills had identified this as the spot for his lone lefty in the bullpen, and Lance Berkman turned that pitch around for a 3-run homer. So that really changed everything.
Hey, you can't fault the thinking. It just didn't pan out to turn Berkman around, then have a lefty on the hill for Rasmus, but they both delivered. Lance the home run, Colby Rasmus a single. And now some frustration on the face of Abad as he and Quintero continue to try to sort things out.
The Astros probably will be making a player move before tomorrow night's game, with Clint Barmas due to come back to the club. And that might be announced after this game tonight. It might wait until tomorrow. We're not sure. Fly ball softly hit. Hunter Pence over toward the line. He will make the catch, and now we have a tag at second by Green. He's going over to third on out number 2. David Freese, who started the inning with a single, comes around to bat for a second time in the frame. Freese is 2 for 3 tonight. Now Brad Mills wants to move to a right-hander. He's had Fulcino warming up. Cardinals have really spoiled the strategy with the Berkman homer, and then 2 singles and a walk allowed after that by Abad. St. Louis building this 6-4 lead. And it's Fulcino coming in. We'll be right back.
brunch on Fox Sports Houston, college style, Big 12, and it's a big one too. Two of the top 20 teams, Oklahoma and Texas, from Texas. Oklahoma, a team with great hitters and good pitching. Texas with not quite the same hitting, but super pitching. Catch the action at 11:30 Saturday morning right here, guys.
Both Oklahoma and Texas jockeying to see who brings the bagels.
Yeah.
Jeff Fulcino to David Freese now is 2 for 3. Chops one high and foul, third base side.
You're doing that game, right, Greg?
Yes, I am. Jack Lazorko and I will be there. In fact, I'm going to drive over after our game tomorrow night, spend a few hours in the hotel, and then I guess our crew's got to be there at 5:30 in the morning. Hill Thornell, who's directing tonight's game for us, says crew call is 5:30 in Austin on Saturday.
All right, go get them.
Line drive right field. That's in for an RBI single. And David Freese gets his second hit of the inning. Cardinals lead at 7-4 as Freese, with his third straight hit in the game, drives in number 12 of the year.
Funny that we're talking about college baseball, because this is sometimes what you see in the college game. When the team gets on a roll, it just seem to be able to stop them.
Albert Pujols dribbled that single into shallow right field in the 6th inning. And now for a second time in the 6th inning, he's 1 for 3. 10 hits for the Redbirds already. Strike to Pujols. The Berkman homer to go with 6 singles in the inning. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Yankees are blasting the White Sox 10-3 in the bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. Yankees have done some blasting this year with their offense. Whoop. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yankees began the day 2 in front of Tampa Bay in the AL East, with Boston 4 behind with a 10-13 record. Pujols hits a little tapper foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On one of the baseball shows, there was a comparison to Pujols when he really got off to a bad start earlier this year, and his stance had changed a little bit from last year. He was more upright when he wasn't hitting well. Now back to more of a crouch, using his legs more.
Why change?
Yeah, I don't know how he fell into that. That's a good question. Little tapper, third base side.
Please, Albert.
That's another little dribbler for an infield hit.
Come on. Yeah. Really?
Oh,
really? Just knock it off.
And that's the way things go when a club is on a roll.
You got to hit a little flare off the end of the bat to right, so he made pitches on him, kept him off the barrel, and he's got 2 knocks.
11 hits for St. Louis. Pujols is 2 for 4. Now Matt Holliday with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Holliday had an RBI single earlier. Line drive to right. That'll make it 8-4 and maybe 9. Throw to the plate, cut off. 2-run single for Holliday. He's driven in 3 tonight to give him 16 runs batted in. 9-4.
This is just insane. It's good inside-out swing by Holliday. As he picks on that fastball, he's in on him a little bit. Jose Akenda's going to need to ice that right shoulder. He's waving so many runners around in this inning.
Now, oddly, Berkman, who was turned around to bat right-handed earlier in the inning when Abad came in, bats left again. In the same inning, bats both ways. And it's ball 1. He is 2 for 3. 395 for Berkman. Holiday started the night at 429. Good movement there for Fulcino. So Berkman could join Holiday as 400 hitters for the first month of the season by the end of the night. And Ariel Del Rosario is working in the bullpen.
And as a left-handed hitter, Lance carried a .417 batting average into this game.
He rips that one into right. Pujols around third. He's coming home. Hunter Pence with a throw to the plate. Not in time. It's 10-4, and Berkman has had 2 hits in the inning and driven in 4 in the inning. He's 3 for 4 tonight. Pujols scoring. Holiday going to third.
I wonder what the record for singles in an inning is. There's been 9 singles in this inning.
And a homer. 10 hits in the inning. And Brad Mills has Rosario warming up. Rasmus is due up next. Boy, what a rough inning. Fulcino's out of the game after giving up 4 consecutive hits. It's 10-4 St. Louis. Back in a moment. Run 10-hit inning so far for the Cardinals, and it's Del Rosario coming up, making a 9-run 10-hit inning. Del Rosario is pitcher number 4 of the night.
Yeah, that kind of inning will muddy your scorebook a little bit. Del Rosario working for the 12th time this year, and second time in the series. He worked an inning and 2/3 last night, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs through 31 pitches.
Facing Rasmus, who looks at ball 1.
Imagine if Del Rosario were able to retire Rasmus here, we'd hear a fairly sarcastic cheer rise up from the patrons.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd be worth it just to get the out.
2 balls, no strikes. Red Myers will do the pitching tomorrow night with Milwaukee coming in. Strike there makes it 2-1. Rasmus, the 14th Cardinal batter in the inning.
This is starting to resemble that inning we had back when I was playing in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
The Jim Clancy Bob Forsch game at Riverfront. I think they scored 14 runs in the inning.
Yeah, they scored 14 in the first.
And they had like 16 hits.
Sounds about right.
A whole bunch of singles, too.
A bunch of singles, yeah. Wallace blocks it. Tosses to Del Rosario for the out. 14 batters, 10 hits, 9 runs for the Cardinals, and they have opened up a lot of working room. 10-4. Now Kyle McClellan has plenty of working room after they opened up things with a 9-run top of the 6th inning. The Astros come up in the bottom half, trailing 10-4. 13 Cardinal hits, 6 for Houston. Bill Hall smashes one into center field. Hall was 0 for 2. He had lined to first. This time he finds an opening for that single.
Time to take a look at our AT&T Trivia Challenge to get our mind off what we just saw. In the 1961 expansion draft, what former Cardinal did the Houston Astros, or actually Houston Colt 45s at the time, choose with the 5th overall pick? He was more famous for playing for another team, and he became quite well known here.
Still live here?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay.
Never see him.
Chris Johnson gets underneath it, fly ball right center field. Rasmus and Berkman go for it. Berkman gets out of the way. Rasmus handles it. Throws back to first base. Bill Hall gets back just ahead of that one-hop throw. One long out.
Here's a clue. He was an infielder as a player.
Okay, let's see. Bob Lillis came from the Dodgers.
Ah, you have the right answer, but the wrong reasoning, because he did play 1 year for the Cardinals. That's the correct answer, by the way.
Okay.
He played 1 year prior to the draft for the Cardinals, and he did come from the Cardinals, but as I said, he was more well-known as a Dodger.
Okay.
So you got it.
How about that?
Well, he was a good shortstop. Humberto Quintero is grounded out and hit a fly ball to left. Brian Bogusevic is in the on-deck circle. There is strike one.
The Flea.
He was it.
Player and coach and manager.
That's right. And player development and scouting, too. He was one of 3. Don Tossig and Ed Olivares were the other Cardinals that were selected in that first draft.
Yeah, and then Ed's son Omar Olivares pitched for the Cardinals 4 years in the big leagues and other teams. Quintero over shortstop, singles to left center. 4-game hitting streak for Q. Now Bogusevic will be the pinch hitter. And this is the whole key in a game like this.
So again, the official recap, thanks to the folks at AT&T. Bob Lillis, the correct answer, and that one goes into the win column again. You guys have a good percentage this year.
We're very liberal with our acceptance of wins. Now here's the question with the Astros coming back a little bit on McClellan, JD, and how long they stay with him.
Well, yeah, because their bullpen has been very shaky. So Tony La Russa on the phone already. He wants to make sure that the Astros don't steamroll the Cardinals the way the Cardinals just did the Astros. You know, just as a manager, you always have to be thinking in terms of worst case scenario. You can't allow yourself to put one in the win column in the 6th inning, even though you have a 6-run lead, because they had a 6-run lead last night that almost disappeared.
That's true. Bogusevic, 5 for 28 last season, 1 for 2 this season. And he came up with a big pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th to start that winning rally on Tuesday night. Just arriving during the game, he was called up from Oklahoma City with the injury to Jason Michaels. They were at Round Rock. He took a short flight over, but there was a delay in the flight. Bogusevic walked in during the game, and then in the 9th inning, grounded a single into right field, came around to score the tying run. Two balls and a strike. A lot of things, of course, could happen. Brad Mills was asked before the game, well, what's your player move going to be? And when will you make it? After the game tonight? Before the game tomorrow? He said, well, we'll make it before the game tomorrow at some point. It might be tonight, but we're not really sure how things can develop. Any number of things could happen. Somebody could get hurt in this game. So he wasn't ready to disclose who would be leaving to make room for Clint Farmas. There's a shot, diving play, Tyler Green, backhanded flip. Descalzo, no double play, but a good effort by Green to get the force play for out number 2.
Yeah, nice glove work there by Tyler Green on a ball that was really well hit by Bogusevic. Not able to find the holes, and real nice defensive play. Ball had a lot of pace on it.
Michael Bourne has a double in 3 trips.
Yeah, that's one of those questions the reporters are compelled to ask, but they know full well the manager's not going to tell them what the move is.
That's true.
It's kind of a little dance they do.
Yes, they do. So they feel they're not doing their job if they don't ask, but they know they're not going to get an answer. And, you know, there are several different ways the Astros could go with a player move. And as Brad Mills pointed out, first of all, Clint Farmas has to get through the evening healthy before he comes back. So let's hope for that, but nothing can be taken for granted at this point. Bouncer first, goes foul. 2-1.
Yeah, and you don't want that kind of stuff leaking in the media before you get a chance to talk to the players. You know, it's really bad form if a player finds out from someone other than the manager or the GM that he's been sent to the minor leagues. If some reporter comes up to him and says, hey, I heard you're the guy that's going to AAA.
Absolutely.
That's not good.
Not at all. 3-1, and of course the question came up about Angel Sanchez. What would Brad's plan be for him? He said, well, you know, I talk to the players all the time, but I'm not going to talk to somebody about a pending move if it involves him until it happens. And Michael Bourne takes the walk to load the bases for Angel Sanchez.
Well, and Angel knows the deal. He knows that Barmas was signed here to play shortstop, and that when Barmas comes back, he'll be the primary shortstop. But that doesn't mean Angel won't get playing time both there and other places in the infield. And at some point, if Clint's struggling and the Astros need offense, maybe Angel gets a chance to garner more playing time. And Angel, to his credit, he's just happy to be in the big leagues.
Absolutely. There's Jason Mott getting ready in a hurry. Bases loaded. If Angel goes deep, it's 10-8. He's 0 for 3 in this game, trying to extend his 5-game hitting streak. Angel has that advantage of being able to play the other positions on the infield. So there's every chance he might be asked to do that.
And this is going to make the move right here. And McClellan sat in that dugout a good long while the Cardinals put that 9 spot up on the board. And a lot of times the pitcher will come out and not just physically, but mentally kind of be out of sorts a little bit. Understand a pitcher losing his concentration and his rhythm a little bit after sitting in the dugout for 4 days or so, however long that inning lasted.
79 pitches have been thrown by McClellan. And Rapuano at the mound. That's going to be it for the right-hander. He's in line for win number 4 of the season. He leaves with a 10-4 lead. We leave, and we'll be right back. They put together a top of the 6th inning, scoring 9 runs on 10 hits. But now the Astros have loaded the bases here in the bottom half, bringing in Jason Mott with a 1.69 ERA.
Cardinal bullpen has had their problems this year. Mott has posted very good numbers. 9 appearances, a 1.69 ERA, and 10 2/3 innings of work. He's a hard-throwing right-hander from Port Huron, Michigan, out of Iona College, his former catcher.
Mott goes to work with the bases loaded here with Angel Sanchez the batter. He's 0 for 3. Mott worked a hitless inning with 2 strikeouts in the opener of this series, coming into the score tied 4-4 in the 8th. Now he inherits these 3 base runners from McClellan.
Got to be ready to hit the fastball off of him. Very aggressive. Throws a lot of heaters.
Line shot into right field with Squaw and stop sign at third. RBI single by Angel Sanchez gives him a 6-game hitting streak. And it is 10-5.
Talked earlier in the game about these two teams, how good they've been this year with runners in scoring position, and no signs of slowing down tonight.
Well, that's the greeting for Mott on his first pitch. Now Hunter Pence. 2 for 2 with a walk, an RBI single coming back in the 3rd. Mott has had 7 straight scoreless appearances, but these 3 runners don't belong to him when he came in. And a strike with a good heater. And Laird immediately jumps up and runs out to talk to his pitcher.
Probably something along the lines of, hey, I know you're a hard thrower and you're proud of that heater, but let's be just a little cautious with where we put it. If it's going to throw the beard ball.
One of the many bearded relievers in MLB this year. Carlos Lee's on deck. Ooh. 0-2.
And no food up there, even for Hunter, as quick as he is. That's a tough fastball to do anything with. Neck high by the time across his home plate.
Mott was drafted in 03 in the 19th round by the Redbirds. Wow. Right down Broadway. And that's a surprise for an 0-2 pitch. But in the 6th inning, the Astros get a run. All 3 hits. They leave 3. It's 10-5. New rapid rewards. Pitcher number 5 comes in for the Astros. Cardinals lead it. Cardinals are up 10-5 as we go to the 7th inning. The Cardinals sent 14 men to the plate in a 9-run, 10-hit 6th inning. Jose Valdez pitched last night. His ERA has climbed to 15 after he gave up 3 hits and 1 run in 1/3 of an inning last night.
Jose just 4 big league appearances under his belt so far this year. It's the entirety of his big league career you're looking at right there. He's not a youngster, though. Jose, 28 years old, originally signed by the Yankees. Been a long time in the minor leagues.
Last night he fell behind some hitters. Now he's getting loose before facing Gerald Laird. Laird has an RBI single and a walk in 3 trips. Miguel Batista warming up now for the Cardinals. Tyler Green's on deck. The pitcher's spot is due up 3rd, so Batista warms up, and there is strike 1. Valdez was recalled from AAA Oklahoma City on the 15th of April.
This offense is catchy.
Yeah, it is.
Diamondbacks with a touchdown in the 1st.
Ooh. Against the Cubbies.
Ryan Dempster. That's an ugly pitching line. 1/3 of an inning, 7 earned runs, 4 hits, 4 walks.
Well, he came in with a very high ERA.
Yeah, it's 9.58 now.
Ooh. In the air and behind second base, Bill Hall is calling for it. 1 out. There's some pitching lines. Figueroa, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Abad, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Fulcino, no innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Del Rosario, 1/3 of an inning, all zeros.
Been very few relief pitchers to make it out of this series unscathed.
Ooh, you're right.
ERAs are taking a beating.
Green 0 for 3. That's going to cause us to look back. There's ball 1. Let's see, Rodriguez, Melanson each threw a scoreless inning Wednesday night. Salas for St. Louis, a scoreless inning. Now Mark Hamilton is in the on-deck circle. Jason Mott had a hitless inning Tuesday night, but you're right. Batista did pretty well in that game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Relievers' ERAs have been soaring in this series. These two clubs led the majors in blown saves before last night's game.
Ooh, hello, Mr. Nasty.
1 and 2. He can visit anytime.
It's all about arm angle, I think, for Valdez. When he gets his arm up, that fork ball just dive bombs.
Well, now we can see why Brad Arnsberg made the comment about him staying tall in his delivery. And he gets a swing and a miss and strikes out Green. Now Mark Hamilton will pinch hit for Jason Mott.
And now he comes after that fork ball or split finger pitch. He comes with a 95-mile-an-hour running fastball with a little sink. That's pretty impressive stuff there. The guys in the Cardinal dugout, getting their first look at Valdez, they'll be talking about that. And hey, what was that? What was that? Where'd he throw you? Is that a splitter? Man, he threw it hard.
Mark Hamilton's 1 for 4. Taking ball 1. Kyle McClellan in 5 2/3 innings allowed 8 hits, 5 runs. He walked 2 and fanned 2. Jason Mott in 1/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, no runs with no walks, 1 strikeout. And Batista's been warming up to come in next. That's a strike. And it evens the count of 1-1. Batista warming up. Cardinals think that he might be one of those guys who can come in with men on base and get them out of jams this year to perhaps replace what McClellan did last year. That's hit very well toward the Astros bullpen in right center field, and Hamilton rattles one off the wall. Picked up by Michael Bourne on the carom. Pinch double for Hamilton.
Well, that's what happens when the fork ball doesn't fork. See the wide grip he takes with it. And that one just didn't have that good tumbling action that the one we showed you earlier did. That one fairly soft, just kind of sat there for him, and Hamilton misses a home run by just a few feet.
Sure did. That becomes more of a knife ball with the knife turned around backwards. So there's the double, and 14 hits for the Redbirds. Descalzo's the batter. Ball 1 to him. It's a 2-ball, no strike count to Descalzo. Well, the Redbirds will host the Astros in a 2-game series in St. Louis, May 18th and 19th. Cardinals are back here in Houston June 7th, 8th, and 9th. And their final trip to Houston this year is September 26th through the 28th. The Astros have a second trip to St. Louis in late July, a 4-game series. Now 3-0 for Valdez. Stephen Drew hit his second home run in that Arizona 7-run first against the Cubs. 26,331 is the paid attendance tonight at Minute Maid Park. It's in for a strike. 3-1 for Valdez. You talked about the Cardinal hitters. We were mentioning last night when Valdez was in the game that when he pitched here against the Red Sox at the end of spring training, Dustin Pedroia made note of his stuff in a conversation with Ed Wade. That talk does get around quickly. Hitters always want to know what a new guy throws. Whoops. That's strike 2. You might need that bat, Daniel. Maybe not.
Rapulano saying, I told him. He said strike. I don't know why he's thrown his bat away for him. Kid's probably apologizing profusely. I didn't mean to show you up, Ed. I'm just a rookie. Don't take it out on me.
I'm a really good guy. He didn't need it. Strike 3. And in the 7th inning for the Redbirds, Valdez puts up a 0. It's 10-5.
St. Louis in the bottom of the 7th, and take the Astros with you everywhere you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv tonight to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Miguel Batista comes in. Beautiful night here at Minute Maid Park in Houston. Cardinals have really turned this game around with their 9-run 6th inning. The Astros had a good game going with a 4-1 lead until that explosion. Now Miguel Batista comes in. His ERA is under 1 with a 1-1 record.
We've been talking a lot about the struggles of the Cardinal bullpen, but his numbers too very, very good, along with Jason Mott, who preceded him. Batista, that 0.96 ERA for 9 1/3 innings. So just a 1 earned run so far this year. The big problem has been their closer. The man who was their closer at the start of the year, Ryan Franklin, and has been for the last couple of years. He's really struggled.
Carlos Lee had the RBI double in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. That snapped the 0 for 17 for El Caballo.
Yeah, so if you're looking for positives tonight, the Astros with 9 hits. Carlos ending that long hitless streak. Chris Johnson hit a home run. A couple of guys have been struggling with the bat, showing a little life.
And the shortstop, Tyler Green, there.
And what will be lost in a game like this is a pretty solid effort from Nelson Figueroa, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And it turns out the numbers don't look great. 4 runs allowed in 5 innings of work. But, got you through 5, having allowed just the 1. A couple men on base when they left. They came around to score, so they were charged to his record.
That's right, and as you pointed out at the time, the Pujols hit was one of the weakest hits of the night. A Holiday also a very weak hit to right field, but that counts in the ERA category when they come around to score after those hits. Brett Wallace with the double in the 3rd is 1 for 3.
Didn't have to be.
Ooh. Strike 1 to Brett. Washington beat the Mets 4-3. Livan Hernandez the winner.
Livan likes his money.
Livan is part of an investigation.
I saw that.
We're reading the papers.
Well, his name showed up, right?
Yeah.
An investigation of some guy who's
some automobiles.
Scurrilous character.
Yeah. Property owned by him, reportedly. There's a line shot to left field. Backhanded by Holiday, drops it. Here's Wallace headed for second base, and the throw would have had him, but it's offline. Wallace gets his second double of the night, and number 9 of the year. Another multi-hit game for Brett Wallace tonight.
Hanging out line drives everywhere. This man cannot be stopped. Oh, that's a good swing.
It stays through the zone nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. Going hard the whole way. A little mishandle by Holiday out there. Looks like they're going to give him a double.
That's 10 hits. Now, each club has been in double figures in hits for all 3 games of this series. What a hard-hitting series. Bill Hall is 1 for 3. Wallace had a .432 on base average when this game started.
Well, you talked earlier about Brad Mills saying it wasn't time to change the lineup to move Carlos down, and a lot of people think Wallace should be hitting higher in the order, and I don't know when that time comes, but I'm sure Brad's looking at the same numbers everybody else is looking at. And the one I looked at today, Carlos has had twice as many at bats with runners in scoring position than Brett Wallace, by virtue of hitting in that 4-hole. So. At some point, if Carlos doesn't get it turned around and Wallace continues to hit well, I'm sure Brad will contemplate doing that. There's 2 reasons why you don't. One, Carlos is a guy who's hitting in the middle of the order his whole career, cleanup type guy, and you're hoping he can kind of return to form. 2, Wallace is still a very young player, and although his makeup tells me it wouldn't bother him, you're afraid to mess with a guy who's going so good. Also, okay, now we're going to hit you cleanup. And you don't want a young guy to think, okay, now I got to start trying to lift the ball to hit it out of the ballpark because I'm the cleanup guy.
Good point.
You probably just let him stay where he's at and just do what you do. Not only in terms of where he hits in the order, but in terms of any mechanical changes you might start thinking about to try to take advantage of that bat speed and see if he can hit more home runs. I don't know if this is the time in his career to do that. Maybe just leave him alone and let him hit for a year and see what you've got before you say, okay, we need to find a way to get this guy to lift the ball or hit the ball with more backspin or whatever it takes to knock it out of the ballpark. Right now, a .370 hitter, that's okay. You don't shake a tree and find a guy who can hit .370.
No. 2-2. Well, offensively, the Astros really have done fine. They're 7th in the league in runs scored. That's a big improvement over last year. They have hit for a high batting average. Had a lot of big innings this year.
They've gone from bottom of the barrel to middle of the pack.
Pitch down and in goes for ball 3. 3-2. So, when you look at the makeup of a club and the production of a club, sure, there are things you can tweak at all times if you're a manager. But is it an emergency situation? Well, Mike Barnett has worked very well with these hitters, a number of them off to good starts right now. Not a crisis for the club offensively. There are some guys who are underproducing, but where can you find a team that does not have that? Anuri Rodriguez is warming up for the Astros.
San Diego.
Bouncer Tyler Green, and he throws to first. 2 outs.
One of their lineups the other day, and everybody in the lineup was hitting like 230 or lower.
Yeah.
Really rugged.
That's a disaster. I'm trying to think if there's anybody on the Yankees who's underproducing. They're pretty good.
The most interesting guy in the Yankees right now is Posada.
Yeah.
He's got 9 hits. He's hitting $130 something, but 6 of his hits are home runs.
That's crazy. Chris Johnson with the 2-run homer is 1 for 3. You talk about a Brett Wallace, and that's what the Astros did with Chris Johnson last year. They just left him alone, let him hit. They put up really good numbers by the end of the year. And there's a lot to be said for that when a player is still establishing himself in the big leagues.
Well, and frankly, if the Astros thought they were going to contend this year, there would be more of a sense of urgency to shake things up.
Yep.
But I don't think, this is a year where, you play the season, you never know. You go out and you play and you hope for the best. But I don't think there's a sense that, hey, we've pumped all this money into this team, and this is a go for it year for us, and so we're gonna react quickly when things go south.
Right, that would be Milwaukee's position right now. What they've done. 0-2. If a Milwaukee were to fall way behind in July, possible that Prince Fielder could be shopped. I'm sure they don't anticipate that, but they're really going for it this year and would be very disappointed if they don't stay in the hunt all year. Batista missing outside, goes to a 1-2 count.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where they don't stay in the hunt all year. They're a very talented club. And
yes,
we had this conversation on the road trip. I think the National League Central is being underrated by a lot of people. I mean, there's, nobody's off to a great start. A lot of clubs hanging around 500, but I think there's good teams in this division.
Line to left, Holiday over, and that's a hard hit out number 3. No runs a hit, a man stranded after 7. It's 10-5 Redbirds. Cam is going to show you Freeze. Holiday the batter. David Freeze goes back in. Brett Wallace swiped for him, and it appeared that Wallace's mitt got there right before the hand of Freeze, but the ball had arrived from Quintero. Almost got his second pickoff of the year. Now in this 10-5 ball game, the Astros still have Valdez on the mound. He's pitcher number 5. Cardinals coming up in the 8th inning with Freeze, Pujols, and Holiday due to bat against Jose Valdez.
Fired up in here, Brownie.
Okay, let's get it going.
Big rally, big comeback.
Let's see.
We got to get him out first.
Nelson Figueroa at a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 third. So Valdez would love to follow suit with that here in the 8th inning. Those are the 2 1-2-3 innings for Astros pitchers in this game. Freeze, though, has not made an out since that first inning grounder back to Figueroa. He's 3 for 4 in this game. He's driven in a run. He's scored 2.
Some quality hair right there. The hat's a little small.
Freeze takes, and there's strike 1 for Valdez.
Well, there's some fat batting averages up on that scoreboard.
363 for Freeze.
Yeah. 439 Holiday, 402 Berkman, 373 Wallace.
Johnson rifles it across. There's one out. Well, that's right. You are reading the. Forgot the new board does have the updated averages for the entire lineup. That's nice.
There's really somebody in the control room with an abacus. Doing some quick math. There's probably an app for that, Brownie. You can probably get a batting average app for your phone.
There's got to be a batting average app. There's an app for everything else.
There's Brad Arnsberg's next move. He's going to put an app together for his pitchers, how to pitch guys. They're going to just look at their phone.
Those batting averages we talked about, they are gaudy. Pujols began the night at 250. Strike one to Albert.
This may be the softest twofer in his career. He's got 2 knocks tonight. Both came in that crazy 6th inning. A little flare and a swinging bunt.
Put them together and they wouldn't knock over a milk carton.
No.
1 ball and 1 strike. But that's the crazy thing about this game. Pujols will rip some line drives. It'll be caught. Still, he's not the type of guy to get 2 hits like that in one game. 1 and 2.
I think that's the spot right there. That down and in's not a bad place to go. He's got to work a lot harder to get to that pitch than the ball away or the ball up.
He just covers the entire zone so well. Very hard to finish off. That's in the dirt. 2 and 2 to Albert Pujols. So, what do you think he will be doing this time next year? What uniform will he be wearing?
Well, if I had to bet, I would say he'd be wearing the one he's wearing right now.
From the word on the street, his people want an 8 to 10 year deal. Three balls, 2 strikes.
Well, there's all kinds of creative ways you can figure that out. What do we got here? There's Red Bird for $500 million. $500 million. Yeah.
That Cardinal fan doesn't seem to mind that thought. That jersey he's wearing might be going up if they pay him $500 million. And the whole thing about the St. Louis market is, the Cardinals are probably up a third in payroll in the major leagues right now, but that market has not been known to go wild overspending down through the years. And with the guys they already have under contract, it's going to be hard to fit Albert's desires into that picture. Fly ball, left center field. Carlos Lee back. Michael Bourne watches Lee.
I think if I were the Cardinals, I would open negotiations with a clip of Dr. Evil offering him $1 million. Just for fun, you know?
Yeah. Inject a little levity into it. Matt Holliday, who already signed his multi-year deal, is 2 for 3 in this game. He's driven in 3. He's drawn a walk. So Holliday's under that long-term multi-million-dollar contract. They have Chris Carpenter. Adam Wainwright was injured this year. They have to fit all that together. But from what we're hearing, the Cardinals would certainly be willing to offer a very competitive package on a yearly basis, but not that many years that the Pujols camp wants.
They'll end up giving him part ownership in the club, whatever he wants. He'll be there.
1-1. Then you have to ask yourself, if you're Albert, okay, let's see, what are the markets that would be looking for my services? Yankees are well set. The Red Sox are well set at first base. Cubs, sure, they might be willing to pony up. Holliday went for it. 1-2. It would be strange if he came back in a Cubs uniform to play in St. Louis.
Be almost like Berkman coming back to Houston in a Cardinal uniform.
Players do travel around. Cleveland beat Kansas City 8-2. Carmona the winner, Davies the loser. One hopper. Sanchez throwing from the outfield grass. Good play to get Holiday. It's a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th for Valdez. Cardinals lead it 10-5. Your local Lowe's for savings and a free MLB fan guide. Compliments of Scott's. Here at Minute Maid Park, the Cardinals trying to win a series to make it 5 straight series. They have won. Have built together this nice 5-run lead, but the Astros have thoughts of stirring up trouble in the late innings. That's what they've been doing in this series. And we have a new player in the game, Nick Punto, at second base for St. Louis, while Daniel Descalzo has moved from second to third base. Humberto Quintero leads it off. He's 1 for 3. Miguel Batista delivers, ball 1. Joe Inglet is on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher Valdez. Anuri Rodriguez warming up in the bullpen. Batista on the check swing call did not get a favorable ruling for him. It's 2-0 to Quintero.
Not a lot of action in the National League today, Brownie.
What's the problem?
I don't know. Teams must be traveling.
Yeah, I think it is. A lot of them played Monday and wound up. Oh, there's a hot shot going into left field. Quintero hit that ground ball. It hugged the ground, and Descalzo, who just moved over from second to third, couldn't stop it. Quintero's aboard.
E5.
E5 it is.
Hard hit, but should have been able to at least knock it down. And if you knock it down at third base, the ball hit that sharply, you're probably going to corral it and throw him out. Mm-hmm. Something in the air, Brownie. I'm sneezing like crazy all of a sudden. What's going on?
I think it's that wind has reversed on us. It's coming in from the north, bringing in a lot of pollen. Joe Inglet looks at ball 1. That was the first error for Descalzo this season. Oh, Inglet with a 174 average with 4 hits and 23 at bats as an RBI. Pinch hitting, 1 for 13 on RBI. Got a start last night. Got a couple of hits. Flares this one near the left field line. 3 players giving chase. That's a fair ball. And that's a pop fly pinch hit for Joe Inglet. Quintero going to second.
Say hi, Joe. A couple of knocks last night. Now a bit of good fortune here on this lob wedge that hugs the line, stays fair.
3 hits in a row for Joey. Had hits the last 2 times up last night. Now Michael Bourne with a double and a walk. Comes around. Angel Sanchez on deck.
I've got an idea for a television experiment.
What do you want to do?
Sneeze on the telestrator. Might make for good TV.
This might be the night to try any idea you want. Here's ball one. Tampa Bay beat Minnesota 6-1 to sweep that twin bill. Jeff Neiman winning his first.
And no hitter through 5.
Fly ball left. Holiday backing up. Catches that one out.
Well, Tampa Bay, after that rough start, are now 14-11. They've won 5 in a row, chasing down the Yankees in the East. Twins 9-15.
Yeah. Definitely some concern in Twins land. That's untwin-like. Sanchez 1 for 4, an RBI single in the 6th inning. The Astros have kept on the attack. They've had hits in every inning but the 4th tonight. It's ball one. Jose Valdez in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, no runs with no walks. He struck out 2. He and Del Rosario, who pitched 1/3 of an inning, the only 2 Houston pitchers to lower their ERAs in this game tonight. That one's up the right field line. Berkman coming over and near the line. He reaches out and catches it. There's the tag by Quintero, who'll go to 3rd. Nice play by Berkman for out number 2.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag for Lance in the outfield in this series. He made a couple of real nice plays, one on Chris Johnson in particular, going deep into the corner, and then he got switched it around on Sanchez's ball last night. Ended up going for a double, but for the most part, talking to folks here with the Cardinals, they said he's handled the position pretty well.
Hunter Pence has a pair of hits, an RBI, and a walk. Of course, Lance has played a lot of outfield, haven't really played there regularly since 04. But the Cardinals have seen enough of him there to know that when healthy, he can make the plays that an average fielder would make.
He played center field here.
Yes, he did. Batista's pitcher number 3. McClellan in line for a 4-0 start to the season. Now back. Oh, when we looked at the records of these 3 Cardinal starting pitchers who have faced the Astros in this series, it looked to be a pretty difficult series for the hitters. Jaime Garcia was 3-0. Kyle Lohse 3-1. McClellan 3-0. Combined 9-1 for those 3.
And all 3 of them were in the top 5 in the league in earned run average. Lohse, pretty strong candidate for pitcher of the month.
He sure is.
4-1 with an ERA below 2. Josh Johnson's been pretty darn good too.
Yeah, I think he leads the league in ERA right now. Don't know how many wins he has. Yeah, 1.06 ERA. He's the leader. Trevor Miller's warming up for the Redbirds, the lefty. Bouncer 3rd. Descalso can't play that one either, and Quintero scores. And Descalso got caught and was unable to make the play to the backhand side. That ball might have really come up on him, but Hunter Pence is on, and it's now 10-6.
Tony La Russa probably second guessing this change he made to bring Punto into play second and move Descalso from 2nd to 3rd.
On that, and he just didn't get it in his glove. So that's 2 errors in the inning for Descalso. The run is unearned. Any more runs it might score would be unearned.
Descalso, a great example of how humbling this game can truly be.
Yeah. Carlos Lee out into right center field, in for a hit. England around 3rd. He's coming in, and it's 10-7 now.
Here come the Astros. They're breathing orange fire.
He's driven in a pair tonight to give him 15 runs batted in.
Well, we talked about it last night when the Astros came up just short, how it was kind of a rare near comeback in that the Cardinals really didn't make errors and the Astros didn't hit home runs. Normally when you come back from way down, the other club opens the door for you, and certainly that's happened in this inning with a couple of errors by the third baseman. And Tony La Russa, he might be tempted to leave some of these relievers in, but they've been so shaky. He doesn't want to put any undue pressure on the next guy coming out of the pen. Wants to give him his best chance to have success.
Well, now he's going to be facing the potential tying run in this game with Trevor Miller coming in to face Brett Wallace. 10-7 St. Louis. St. Louis 10, Houston 7. The Astros have Brett Wallace at the plate. Former Astro Trevor Miller warms up. Wallace has a pair of doubles and RBI tonight. He's a torrid hitter. Miller is cold on the mound. His ERA is 4.50. His last 4 appearances, he has not retired a batter. Usually he only faces one, though, JD.
Yeah, last night he came in and issued a walk. It was in the 8th inning. Michael Bourne, I believe. I think Wally got a base hit off him the night before.
That's right.
And so he's had a look at Miller, who features a sweeping breaking ball, and then he'll try to run that fastball in on your hands. He's not a real hard thrower. So just stay on that breaking pitch and hit it into the Crawford boxes, and we're tied. And folks that remain will go nuts.
Bill Hall on deck. This one gets by Laird. And a wild pitch or pass ball, whatever, allows the runners to move up. The Cardinals unraveling defensively in the inning with 2 errors, and now that problem.
Yeah, they played some sloppy baseball in this series. A lot of it going on behind home plate, not being able to handle balls, and Laird's looking for that slider away. It looked like Trevor just showed him a good diamond in fastball. That'll go as a pass ball, but in all likelihood, it was a case of Laird being crossed up, calling for one pitch and getting the other.
That's ball 1. Runners now at second and third with 2 outs. And that one's wide for ball 2.
You get the feeling that we moved to the American League?
I really do. I think there's been realignment without anybody knowing.
Crazy high-scoring games.
It has been. We haven't seen this kind of baseball for years now. Mando Salas warming up, and it's ball 3. As far as Astros games, a lot of longer games, high scoring for both teams. It is kind of crazy. It's almost back to the 90s era. We might flash back to the year 2000, the first year of this ballpark. Now 3-0 to Wallace.
Gotta start hitting some home runs.
3 balls and a strike. Cardinal bullpen has 6 blown saves, a 2-6 record, a 3.45 ERA. 37-year-old Trevor Miller from Louisville has had 2 different stints with the Astros. Cardinals bullpen has been torched for 9 earned runs in the series. Now Laird comes out. Batista's runs allowed will be unearned. Miller and Laird not together tonight.
Well, if I'm Trevor Miller, realizing that Wallace could tie this game, the thing that would scare me the most would be him pumping one the other way. So whatever it is I could do to prevent that from happening would be foremost in my mind right here.
He missed and he walked him. Now the bases are loaded for Bill Hall.
And in all likelihood, LaRusse will make another move to the pen.
He's had a right-hander warming up. Hall provided the game winner Tuesday night in the last of the ninth. And now, if he goes deep, this place is going to explode.
He's not going to get a chance to swing out Trevor. Double switch. Tony La Russa has been at this a long time. I wonder how many games his team has scored 9 runs in an inning, and he's had to sweat it out.
Ooh. Now Brandon Lyon is getting loose for Houston. Tony making a couple of changes here at the same time in this double switch to get a more favorable position. Now he's bringing in Holiday from left. Holiday made the final out. And Salas is coming in from the bullpen. And we'll be right back. 10-7 St. Louis. St. Louis, the bases are loaded for the Astros here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Changes include Ryan Theriot coming off the bench to play shortstop for the Cardinals. Tyler Green moves from shortstop to second base. Nick Punto moves from second base to third base. Daniel Descalzo leaving the game. And the pitcher Salas goes into Descalzo's leadoff spot with Theriot batting ninth. Bill Hall the batter with 2 outs in the inning. And there's ball 1 in the dirt. Here comes Hunter Pence, and the dive by Laird. He's out. Pence went in standing up, and Laird was able to dive and tag him to end the 8th inning.
Boy, risky play. Down 3, bases juiced.
dragged out by a diving Laird.
Yeah, you know, that to me, that's not a bad play if you're down a run and you got a chance to steal a run as the ball kicks away. But down 3, with the bases loaded, you know, I'm sure Hunter's thinking the same thing out there now. You know, players just react to situations, and probably out there kicking himself right now, saying, "Man, why didn't I just stay put? Give Hall a chance to swing the bat."
Nori Rodriguez is pitcher number 6 for the Astros with an ERA of 6.43 in his rookie season.
Nori, 90 to 93 miles an hour with the fastball. When he gets on top and a good high arm angle, he'll have good tilt on his slider. Otherwise, things flatten out, and that's where he runs into trouble.
That's Berkman. Hits one foul, strike 1.
That's Berkman having one fine night here. A triple away from the cycle.
Up to 402 for the season with those numbers. In the dirt for a ball. 3 for 4 tonight in the series. Berkman is 7 for 13. 1 homer, 6 runs batted in this series. His first against the Astros. Clint Barmas 3 for 5 tonight. 2 runs batted in for Corpus Christi at Midland. That game has just ended. Midland won it 12-8. Clint will be heading for Houston to meet with Clint's crew before tomorrow night's game. They'll be here for batting practice. He's purchasing tickets every Friday night for 20 youngsters and giving them some vouchers for food, and they will be from the Special Olympics tomorrow night. 3 balls and a strike.
Oh, Clint's a solid guy.
Yeah, he really is.
The Astro fans are really going to enjoy him. Good defensive player.
Ooh. Fastball makes it 3-2. That's a good pitch. I think if he could duplicate that pitch, he might like the result, JD.
Goldberry back in there, Brownie?
Yep.
All right.
See if he does it.
Send that down to Q telepathically.
Chances are about 10-90 he won't. And that fastball got out over the plate. You just don't see pitchers double up very much on fastballs inside like that.
It's a good way to go because, you know, a lot of pitchers talk about pitching in to get out away, so hitters start to look that way. You've come in once, okay, now he's going to go away. And you can fool him by going in there twice in a row. Got back in there. That's a pitch Lance struggled with last year. Had a hard time getting to a good inside fastball. Most hitters do.
Yes, that's right. He's checking the mark on his bat. And an interesting return home for Lance Berkman.
I guess you would have to say a triumphant return.
Oh, yes. Very much so. He rips this one. It'll go foul.
Almost got triumphant for more.
Yeah. That one traveled a long way foul. Well, he has certainly spent a lot of time doing interviews. To right field, Hunter Pence watching, and Berkman has come back with a triumph.
It's like a dream come true for him. My goodness.
4th hit of the night, his 2nd home run. 5 runs batted in the game for Berkman, and the Cardinals lead it now 11-7.
Wow, what a show. Got a standing ovation when he was first announced here in that first game of the series, and a nice round of applause by the fans that remain here tonight, appreciating what he has done and, more importantly, what he did so many years in an Astro uniform.
Colby Rasmus fouls it, strike 1. 8 homers for Berkman this season now. And 22 runs batted in.
One from the right side, one from the left side.
One of the best switch hitters in baseball history. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third time this season Berkman has hit 2 homers in a game. 28th of his career. 1-2. Makes Lance 8 for 14 in the series. That's a big series. Extra base hits. 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. That 8 for 14 performance in the series. Swing and a miss by Rasmussen. He's down on strikes. 15 hits for the Redbirds. The breaking pitch for Rodriguez. Gerald Laird is next. He has an RBI single, 1 for 3 with a walk. Tyler Green on deck. There's strike 1. In that Corpus Christi loss, 12-8 at Midland, TJ Steele got his 9th steal of the year. No balls, 2 strikes. Interesting to see what kind of numbers he puts up by the end of the year with Corpus. Right now he's hitting .241. He is known as a 5-tool player, but has had problems staying healthy. Fastball chopped to shortstop. Sanchez coming in. 2 outs. Every chance, too, that Clint Barmas will need a rest when he comes back to the Astros tomorrow night. So he and Sanchez might be doing a little job share for a while there, but it's been made clear that Clint will be the guy at short. Very, very good glove man. We saw that this spring. He has extremely quick hands and is excited about returning to shortstop after Troy Tulowitzki took over at that position in Colorado and Clint moved to second base. Tyler Green looks at ball 1. He's 0 for 4.
Swing better.
Hunter Pence giving chase toward the right field line and watching that one drift out of play. It's 1-1.
Texans drafted a fellow by the name of J.J. Watt.
What do you know about it?
Well, he's from Wisconsin and he's a defensive end.
Okay. Must be a good pass rusher then. One of the projections had him the Missouri defensive end being drafted by the Texans.
6'5" and 3/8", weighs 290 pounds. His hand size is 11'1". Measure their hands?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
1 and 2.
What's his ring size?
That could tell you. You know what's going to be really intriguing is to see how Cam Newton does in the NFL after that John Gruden piece.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you know, and you realize how much projection there is here when they ask a player who really has not been in a huddle. Has not been under center, so he hasn't been calling plays in an NFL huddle. Give me an example of a play you called at Auburn. 36.
Give the ball to me.
Gets a little more complex than that. In the 9th inning, Berkman goes deep for his 4th straight hit, and the Cardinals lead it going to the bottom of the 9th as Berkman really rocketed one out, 11-7. And the Cardinals have just added to their lead with Lance Berkman's 9th inning homer. Now he has left the game for John Jay in right field. And the Astros lead off with Bill Hall in the bottom of the 9th. Hall is 1 for 4. He'll be followed by Johnson. Then Quintero is due up third with a pitcher's spot to follow. Salas gets a foul ball. There's strike one. Trevor Miller did not retire a batter. He walked one. Batista in 1 2/3 innings allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, no earned runs, with no walks, no strikeouts. And now it's Salas trying to finish it off. Fernando, 25 years old, from Mexico. He pitched a scoreless inning last night, giving up 2 hits, but 2 of the runners that he inherited, and there were 3, scored. 1 ball, 1 strike. Be interesting to see what's going on in the bullpen of these various clubs, as you see John Jay in right field come about July or so. Two balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, well, it's fairly typical for there to be some amount of transition during the season with guys in the bullpen, guys being sent down and guys called up from the minor leagues. The real curious cases are like the one here in St. Louis, where you've got a guy like Ryan Franklin who's had success as a closer, who has fallen on hard times. Will he be able to reclaim that role, or will they go in a different direction?
Franklin came in and gave up 2 hits and 2 runs last night without retiring a batter. Fouled away. Still 2-2. Arizona's putting it on the Cubs 10-1 now in the top of the 5th inning. Kirk Gibson's club playing in the desert, trying to get back to 500 at some point in the near future. 3 games under right now at 10-13. Coy Hill hit his first home run just a minute ago for Chicago. Now 10-1 Arizona. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Bill Hall, with the Brewers coming into town tomorrow night.
So just to get my scorebook correct, Hunter was given a base hit on that ball at the 3rd last inning.
Oh, he was?
I believe so, because there's only 2 errors on the board, and McClellan had made one earlier.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I didn't realize that.
That's generous.
Very. Broken bat. He rolls out to shortstop. Whoa, a bobble by Terrio, and that's out number 1. Terrio was scratched from the lineup Tuesday night with a rib cage injury. This is his first action in the series. When the Brewers take the field here tomorrow night, they'll have a 12-12 record. And we saw them do a fair amount of hitting last weekend in Milwaukee. So the challenge is there for Brett Myers and the others who pitch in that series to stop one of the high-powered lineups in the game. Fielder and Braun. Some other pretty good hitters. Yuniesky, Betancourt could swing the bat. They've got Corey Hart
Corey Hart's back, yeah.
He wasn't there last weekend. The Astros won that 10-inning game Saturday night 9-6. Milwaukee won the opener 14-7. And then Randy Wolf pitched well in the 4-1 Sunday win for the Brewers. And the Astros will see him again this weekend. CJ rips that foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Brewers just lost 2 out of 3 in a series to Cincinnati. In all likelihood, the Brewers are in town by now, I would think.
Yeah.
And they rolled in earlier this evening.
Traveling on the off day. They would have loved to see the Astros come back and beat the Redbirds in this game. Kind of fun to get our first tour of the teams in the division, try to analyze the early season strengths and wonder what's going to change over the long trail ahead. Up the right field line toward the corner. John Jay on the run. Jay slides, can't make the catch. Johnson's into second base with an opposite field double. Second extra base hit of the night. And last time up, he hit the ball on the screws to left.
Yep. That's again. The Astros aren't out of this one yet. The way this series has been played, can't give up on this one yet. Down 4, but if they do not come all the way back, still some very positive things in this game. Chris Johnson among them. Chief Justice laying out, trying to make a play.
5 doubles for CJ. It's Matt Downs in the on-deck circle with Quintero batting next. Q is 1 for 4 in this game. So with Hunter being credited with a hit in the 8th inning, he has a 3-hit game tonight. Salas gets a swing and a miss from Quintero and pulls in front of the count. 0-2 for the Cardinal pitcher. Salas's contract was purchased from Saltillo in the Mexican League in 2007 by the Redbirds. He gets a strikeout for out number 2. 14 hits for the Astros tonight. Redbirds have 15.
The location of that breaking ball shows in the strike zone early and then breaks down out of the zone. Astros in jeopardy of losing their second game in a week in which they scored 7 runs. That's usually enough to get it done.
Yeah. Matt Downs, 3 for 18 in his career as a pinch hitter. He's hitting .276 this season overall. Fastball works for strike 1. He's batting for Anuri Rodriguez, who in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run with no walks, 2 strikeouts. Downs this season 1 for 4 with an RBI as a pinch hitter. It's 0-2. Five of the last 6 now. The Astros have been in double figures in hits. Breaking pitch close, but called ball 1. Michael Bourne's on deck. Salas pitcher number 5 for the Redbirds. Kyle McClellan in line for the win. He was charged with 5 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Astros led at 3-0 and 4-1.
Starting pitcher can hang in there. The way this Cardinal offense is scoring runs, you can pick up some cheap W's. You can give up 5 or 6 runs and pick up a win.
This series is so out of character. The Cardinals and Astros, who have played a lot of 3-2, 4-3 games over the years. Now it's 3-2. A couple of 6-5 games have been traded before this one tonight. Redbirds getting 9 in the 6th, with 14 men coming to the plate. That's a walk.
Keyhole him.
Now Michael Bourne. And this is one thing we've seen from this Astros club. A lot of late inning rallies when trailing.
Well, they went down in order in the 4th. That's the only time all night that has happened.
4-run Cardinal lead with Michael Bourne possessing a double and a walk on the scorecard tonight. That's ball 1, almost hitting him. Angel Sanchez is on deck. Wouldn't Hunter Pence love a chance to get to the plate again tonight?
Albert Pujols wants to come in and talk to his young right-hander.
Coming into this game, the Astros had hit .298 at home this season. They're well above .300 now. The shot, diving stop. Punto over, and that'll do it. For the Astros, no runs a hit, 2 men left. They put something together, but fall short as the Cardinals roar from behind on a huge night from Lance Berkman. Final score 11-7 St. Louis.